Listen. I listened to the recording last night. I know where we're at. We're not going to
There
leave
you
behind.
are.
Don't worry. Oh no,
I can see you.
that's bad. That's bad. That's bad.
That's what they say in horror movies.
Gaze
Oh, no, and
upon
that's
this
bad.
wretched thing.
So, everybody ready?
So,
Yes.
Ready for dawn?
Case. Hephe, what do you remember of last session? Because I don't remember shit.
Oh
Ha!
no.
No, I have rewatched a couple things today, so I have a good idea of what's happening.
We went outside the village. It's pretty late night now. But before we got there, we killed some kind of like poison troll or something. I think, or no, it was hiding out in the sea, and we thought it was a fish, and it wasn't a fish. It was some nasty monster. We kicked its ass. But then it was like left a bunch of poisonous clouds around when we killed it, so we had to take off real quick. So we didn't get to loot the body or anything, I don't think.
no.
Then we got to the village pretty darn late because we figured, okay, I want to get there tonight. We sent Fluke out to do a scouting mission, but then he got caught by some tripwire noise bells, I guess. So then he got taken to be a prisoner in a little hut. He let us know he got captured, so I sent a sending spell to who I thought was the person guarding him, which it wasn't. Let's see. It was Almer. Almer's who I thought was guarding it, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And he told me that I should stay away from the village until I meet Chody and he can heal us, and that he didn't catch Folan, but there was a cutoff. I didn't get all the information. And then we decided to go talk to everyone because I wanted to do it today instead of like giving Chody more time to figure out a plan, because I'm here way ahead of schedule according to my timeline. Like, I'm here within a week and he's expecting me in 6 months, so that's a big difference. So I'm hoping to take him a little bit off guard and if I let Almer talk to Chody, then he has more time. He can prepare in the morning. So I just want to go right now. But I don't have any 3rd or 4th level spells. So we went in, and then we saw Fluke because I guess somebody came and let Fluke blow, which I'm guessing is Almer. And then Fluke caught up to us. We chatted, and we decided that we're still going to go into the village. I think is how that last episode went.
That's about it. Well, I remember we stopped when Fluke just approached you, having been let free by Almer and Tennille.
Okay, so we haven't talked to Fluke yet.
Don't think you did?
I was gonna say I don't think we had spoken to him yet.
I feel like we talked.
Kind of dozed off at the end last night when I was rewatching stuff.
Yes, I do think maybe you talked like out of character a bit,
Well-
because you were already like discussing beforehand. I'm not
You
sure if
did-
you in character had a chat.
You did do a correspondence with us because when you got nabbed, I sent my familiar to you, and you gave us
we had the
a
letter.
bit. Yeah. But other than that, I don't think we've spoken just
Okay,
yet.
so we saw him, and that's where we ended the session. So
Yeah.
we got a chat then.
Why is the title of this "Will We Ever Get to Rubel" according to Stream Elements? I swear to God,
For me, it's
That
called
hasn't been
Hephe is Home.
Hefe is home on Twitch.
Yeah.
thank you. I looked at the chat just now and was like, Stream Elements. That hasn't been the title in like so long. I've been to Rubel and left. If it had pulled that title out, I'd been thoroughly confused. Okay, please continue.
All right, so do we want to pick up there then from Body
Yeah,
Fluke?
you see Fluke suddenly jump because he had like a really high stealth, I think.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
didn't he?
Man.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, you did have a little bit of a chat because he told you about the other elf. Because you rolled insight and that's why you know who was who.
Okay, so we did have a chat. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right,
not
so
crazy either,
okay.
So hurrah.
Hooray, Fluke. So we had our chat, and we decided to continue on into the village. So I guess we should pick up from...
Yep.
continue on to the village. But there is something that I want to say, so I'm going to say it right now while I have the opportunity.
What's up?
Guys, I know that Chody and the other villagers, they might not be so happy to see us, but can we make sure that we don't get into any fights? And if we do get into fights, that you don't actually like kill them or hurt them or anything. I mean, they're my people, and I know Chody's done some weird stuff lately, but I have hope for him, and he helped raise me and teach me all the ways and stuff, and he's really important to me. I don't want to see him dead. Like, I know he's done some bad stuff, but I think he can be saved.
So he's basically your uncle.
I mean, he is our village leader.
I mean, while you were away.
I mean, until I'm 30.
Same difference? No, not same difference.
Regardless, you at least have my word, Hephe. I'll use non-lethal force if things get aggressive.
And I'm rather good at that, I'd say.
Azri will sheathe her sword and pull out her quarterstaff. It's like, I guess I'll just use this.
Time to bring out the beating stick.
I would like to say I would do that too, and Decorm is just gonna hold the great axe in his hand, but I don't think it will let me.
Can you not use the axe?
Good.
How about we start with that?
Because you're my friend, and I'll grab the hammer.
I appreciate that, Decorm. I appreciate that.
Alrighty.
Not to use my toy.
I'll just knock him out. He proceeds to start Gallaghering people.
Oh my god.
And I just imagine you like Fluke making his way, like knocking out people one by one, and Decorum just running behind him and just chopping all their heads off one by one.
That would be efficient.
It would be. It would also convince them that I am evil.
Decorm, that's not very Paragon.
Renegade for life, bitch.
Good stuff.
So, as you are walking towards the village, can I have perception checks of 2 of you?
Azri will do that.
I'll do one. Nice perception there, Flub.
Yes. I
So-
see things.
Hephe, you see the village, of course, you recognize places, but you're too focused right now on what's happening to really like take in the details of what you see. Well, Ezra, when you're looking, your spy senses are tingling. As
God!
as you look around, and like you notice lots of movement around in the village, and you realize that with what Fluke told you before about like the guards being around, and what Hephe told you about how the system works, various guards from over the village are all like gathering in what you are going to assume strategic places in the village. It could technically be anywhere, but like logically speaking, that's what they would do.
I will say to Fluke and to Porcelain in their heads, was surrounded individually. And then if I have time, I will go to Hephe and Decorum. But if something happens, then...
You still have like, let's say like a 5 to 10 minute walk till you're in the village itself, so...
Okay.
So 5 to 10 minutes before we're surrounded, or 5 to 10 minutes?
Before you're in the village.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're still surrounded.
I mean, the movement you see... Oh, sorry. The movement you see is in the village itself.
I
okay.
misunderstood.
Okay.
I thought we were walking through the village and we were seeing this around us. No, I will inform them that they were not surrounded. I will say then that we are... I will just say out loud, I believe they're fortifying against us. I don't think we're going to get in with these.
I mean, we just need to talk to them.
Exactly. I don't know how this wilderness politics goes, but who's the manager around here? Can we just
I mean, I'm at least
yell that?
I am management.
Oh,
Stealth.
I don't think they can stop Hephe from seeing who I'm gonna go see, so I think I can just win on that argument alone.
are you talking in the third person?
What I'm saying is that I am a Hephe, I am Hephe, and they can't stop me from going where I'm gonna go.
That's the spirit. Let's go.
So, as you enter the village, where it's still the village itself still seems kind of serene and calm. It's now it has like a little bit of a ghost town vibe, as where you enter, there's just no one around. And as
I'm
you
gonna
get
light a torch if I haven't lit one already.
I'd say that there's a couple of like lights here and there through the village. You had your lantern the last time.
Okay, so yeah, I have my lantern lit. Okay.
Yes.
And as you walk further, you definitely notice, and Fluke, you also notice, like right now, where the guards were walking, there's no guards anymore. And as you get deeper into the village, as I'm assuming, Hephe is going towards where Pool of Health is.
I am, yes.
Okay. So, eventually, like in the, well, not really in the distance, but like a bit ahead of you, you see the path towards Pool of Health with just about all the guards that the village has, and Almer and Tennille both standing in front of it, waiting for you.
Cool. This makes this easy. I'll cast Thaumaturgy on my voice.
All right.
And as I'm walking up, I'll just wave and I'll say, hey there, Almer. Hey there, Tanel. How's it going? Tanel.
Make an insight check with disadvantage.
Okay,
Because you're still a bit of distance, so reading their faces is a bit difficult.
that's fair. 14.
The 14... Almer is... He's probably also one of... No, wait, that's... Justine was the one who taught you how to hunt and how to navigate, like, the swamps.
Mm-hmm.
You know him fairly well, and you see the face on him that he also made when he was teaching you, and you did something dumb, as it were. It's like it's just a bit of a resigned tiredness on his face.
Tanel, what's wrong? Did I do something stupid?
Asri will actively just facepalm.
And as you get closer, I imagine, you do notice the village now comprised of like various of different like gnomes, centaurs, elves are all standing there. They are clearly armed. They're also very clearly hesitant, and none of them have like drawn actually their weapons. They just have them with them, and they're standing where like they don't want to let you get through, as it were, but they definitely don't want to draw their weapons. As Almer speaks, and he says in Sylvan, because that's the only language he speaks, Sylvan Elven, but he'll say in Sylvan, "Young Hephe, you have returned. Much sooner, might I say, than we'd expect."
I'll respond in Sylvan. Yeah, I've been called back by Pool of Health. I heard there's been trouble in the clan. I think Chody might be lying to everyone, but I don't know what's going on. I need to see Pool of Health to figure out what's happening.
I'm sorry, Hephe. I can't let you see Pool of Health right now.
I'm sorry. What did you just say to Hephe?
You know, I hold your title in high regard, But when Chody started talking about Ravaging Flame having poisoned you, and him going on to save Pool of Health,
I'm sorry. How did he say Pool of Health?
He said he was going on the same journey you did. To find a way to cure Pool of Health.
All right, so
your parents went with him.
Yeah, I did a sending spell, and they said that Chody kidnapped him. That's what my pa said. So, are you telling me that Chody has my parents, and none of them are here? 'Cause if that's what you're telling me, I'm gonna be really upset.
That is the situation.
And okay, and now you're also telling me the person that kidnapped my parents is telling you that I can't see a Pool of Health because of what he's saying about just what he says?
Hasn't said anything.
He said that I'll be poisoned.
We have no way of confirming his story.
All right.
But now do we have a way of... Why are you sending it to me?
I mean, you're saying that I can't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I got a message from Decorm, and
oh, gotcha.
I was like, "Why are you sending it to me?" What I was saying, we have, as a village, decided that until the two of you resolve this, neither of you will see Pool of Health. Pool of Health right now is weaker than she's been ever since I joined the clan. If whichever one of you is right, if the wrong one gets to her, it could be the end of her.
Okay,
we can't let that happen.
Okay, Almer, that makes sense. I'm just curious. Does Chody have any Pool of Health on him?
He took a little bit of her with him before we ousted him.
You oust? Oh, I don't want to speak your language. Shit.
What are you saying? Okay, what is he saying? What are you saying? Can we do this in code, please?
He doesn't know Common. He only knows Sylvan and Elven.
Yep.
He's saying that we're not allowed to come in because they don't trust Chody and they don't trust me until they figure out which one's telling the truth, and they have no way of knowing.
That's bullshit.
That's what I'm saying.
Come here. Translate for me.
All right, Almer, I'm going to translate for Decorm here. He has a few words I think he wants to say. Give me a moment. I'm just going to translate whatever he says.
What's his name?
His name's Almer.
Okay. Almer, you listen to me, pal. This is my friend Hephe, and Hephe is an honest guy. I vouch for him.
And
I'm going to do a little trick. And as I'm saying this, I'm going to try and cast Zone of Truth and convince him to ask Hephe to convey if he knows about that spell, or if that could convince him to trust Hephe.
Okay.
I will translate accordingly.
Okay.
Zone of Truth. Do you know it? Can we do that? Will that solve this problem?
He does know that he does know the spell, as at least previous Hefes have known it. The thing is, I believe you, but I also believe that Chody believes what he says. One of you has been corrupted without noticing.
Oh shit.
All right. Well, I just had a dream with Pool of Health.
What did he say?
I had a communion. Does that count? I mean, I've had one just yesterday. This morning? Yesterday?
Hephe, what does he say? This is very frustrating.
He's saying that he believes both of us, and that's a problem.
But we had a communion this morning.
That's
Today? This morning?
That's what I'm trying to tell him right now.
I'm just gonna start in common talk to him about this weird ass dream we had.
I'll just start translating it to him. Listen, this is the dream that he and I had together, and I'm gonna tell his perspective of it, and then I'll fill in the blanks that don't make any sense because I'm gonna be honest. I love Decorum, and this is in Sylvan, so he doesn't understand what I'm saying, but sometimes he just makes me shake my head. You know what I mean? Okay, now I'm gonna translate.
As you say that to him, you see that Elmer is also shaking his head right now.
Can I ask, would if as we started to ritual cast comprehend languages here, like would they be alarmed, or would she be able to do that so she could understand what's going on?
I'd say that there's at least a couple of in the clan that know enough about magic to distinct like harmful magic from utility magic.
Okay, cool.
So as you start casting it, you see like a couple of glances to actually make an insight check, Ezra.
Insight. Okay, I'm decent at that.
No, you're not.
So
You're a halfling.
Oh!
Half.
Oh, nice.
Oh my
Ah!
god! It happened!
Wait. Does that mean that he gets to do it again? Because it's still a nat 1?
No,
No, you have to use new
I have to
result.
take you must use the new roll, no matter what it is. It happened. Oh my god!
What a time!
So
Wow.
I want to say you're just focused on you casting your spell. So once you look up, you notice that like you see a little bit of nervous shuffling, but they don't take any action as long as Almer and Tennille don't do anything. And that's the thing. At this point, like a lot of the tension has been broken by your shenanigans, as it were.
I was gonna say, Decorum's very good at disarming the situation, right?
And especially since most of the gnomes and also all of the centaur that are standing there also understand common, so
And he is actively like standing there awkwardly, like this person who just. Do you speak in a common? I'm gonna talk very slow about my dream because I don't understand that you don't know my language. I just think if I speak very slow about this dream I have, you are okay.
And play enough
You're
charades.
being an American. I get it, man.
Yes.
Oh, that was great. Most of
If they are not convinced,
the nervous shuffling at this point is awkward shuffling.
they're just listening to Decorum. All right, Decorum's. Do you want to describe the dream for us?
Does he remember?
That's kind of what I'm asking.
Alright, so Hephe wants me to be a knight of the pool, and I still don't understand who this miss is. I still want to meet her, and apparently that can't happen, but I already met her because I had this wonderful dream. We prayed. That's the word. Yeah, we prayed, and then I closed my eyes, and then suddenly I saw this lake. I assume that's her. It's still weird to me. And then you had this cave, like round thing with cold stone, and we went in it. And mask, face, like you guys.
On the walls.
But he's legit. That's what I'm saying.
But he's legit.
and then we went through the walls.
Wait, Hephe.
Yeah.
Sidebar.
What's up?
You notice
I'll
that
say in common.
one
I'll
of
sidebar in common.
one of the centaurs kind of step forward to Almer and like whispers in his ear what you've been saying.
I don't want them to know, but we did meet a demon lord, so... Are you sure you're not corrupted?
Hephe didn't meet that. Hephe never met no demon lord.
Y'all met a demon lord. I did not.
Hephe was protected by pool.
I was.
Fair point. Thank you. I just wanted to be sure. Because I would sound like such a dick if I'm vouching for you here and you turned out to be the bad one.
No, I cured all your guys of that touch. Remember, I used remove curse because you guys all got cursed by that demon lord, and I got rid of it. No problem.
That's true. Yeah, you guy. Here, see this X was an evil X. Now it's not an evil X anymore because of him.
I made it not want to kill everyone it ever sees.
Exactly. I still do, but this doesn't want to do it anymore.
Son of a bitch.
Swear to God, Decorm. Oh,
And this is when I say that it just makes me want to shake my head sometimes because sometimes he just says things that aren't actually him because he is what I like to call an agent of chaos. I'm gonna look at the most like rambunctious gnome that I know of and just like look at him when I say that agent of chaos.
Is that in common or Sylvan?
I'm gonna say that in Sylvan.
Okay,
I'm gonna say that the gnome that you pick out, Hephe, is Folan, the gnome that also Fluke met.
Okay.
And he's one of the few who doesn't have any weapons. He's also, is the one that throughout this village knows the most about magic and used it mostly for his traps and things to protect Pool of Health.
Okay.
And you kind of see like almost a glitter in his eyes as he kind of just seems to be excited about all of you being here.
Mm-hmm. It's a reunion. It's a time to be happy, people.
But he also does like remain in his place, like behind Almer in the we can't let you in, I swear. But
I understand. I gotta convince Almer. I got centaur folk.
But Almer will say, wait, what was the last thing you said? The shaking head, and he was also shaking his head. That was it, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was the last thing he said. Yeah.
I understand these people trust you. But
these people?
You don't know what he's saying.
but does Asri?
you understand what he's saying, as you cast comprehend language.
Making a lot of assumptions here.
But we don't know them. We don't know anything about your visions. You can tell everything, but we don't know if it's the truth. Well, we know that you think it's the truth, but we don't know if it is the truth.
All right. I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna pull out Pool of Health.
All right.
And I'm gonna try to have a communion with them in front of Almer and everyone, just to try to convince everyone that I'm not evil and that I'm still on the path of righteousness and I can still commune.
I put a hand on Hefe's haunch and I say, why don't you see if he can't join you, just like Decorum did?
I mean, do you want to pray and you want to talk to Pool of Health like I just did?
No, that fellow. And I point to the elf he's been talking to.
I'll say it in Sylvan and point. I'll just say that to Almer. I mean, we can try to commune right now, like I did earlier yesterday.
Almer looks at Tennille and he'll say in Sylvan to Tennille, you are to judge what happens, as he steps forward for the communion.
And I'm gonna give it a try.
The
All right.
old college try.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Now, Pool of Health, I know we just talked, and I hear that you don't have a lot of energy, but I'm here in front of the clan with everybody, Almer and Tannil and Folin, and they're not letting me in. And they're saying that Chody might be the good guy. And we know that I'm the good guy, and I was hoping you might be able to help convince Almer here and kind of talk to him real quick and tell him that I am Hephe and that I should go see you. I understand if you can't do it, but if you can, I'd really appreciate it.
Make a wisdom check.
Okay. That's not very good.
With a 5,
It's a 10 after the modifier.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was for some reason I was looking at the modifier. With a 10, your veil glows for a little bit, and I'd say both Decorm and Hephe do notice that it's a lot weaker than the last time it did anything, and it just fades again without any. Like for a moment, you feel something as if it's pulling on you, but then it returns to you, and I am gonna ask you to make a persuasion check.
Okay. While I'm making a persuasion check along with this, I'm just gonna say I appreciate everything you've done, Pool of Health. I know you've done everything you can. Persuasion check. Not very good. Oh, I'm not terrible at that.
Oh!
Nice!
Oh yeah, baby. That's a nat 20, by the way.
Yeah, I saw it.
Just FYI.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
You see Almer, like as Pool of Hell starts glowing, you can see kind of like this glimmer of hope in his eyes, and then you figure he probably felt the same pool that you did as it happened, but then as it fades again, he seems very sad, and he looks at you and he says, well, no, actually he won't look at you, but he'll look at Tennille, and he says in Sylvan, she really is too weak right now. And Tennille will look at you and he'll say,
But she tried.
if Tennille will now say, if it was a demon, if it was ravaging flame, it would have pretended to be stronger. It would have tried to convince you. And he'll say, Hephe, please come with me. I'll bring you to Pool of Health. I'll show her to you, and then you can decide if who else can come see her.
I think everybody's come a long way to see her. I think it'd be okay if we all came.
That's after you've seen her. You can make that decision.
Okay, I'll turn around and I'll say in common. So, guys, can you just follow like close behind us, and then there's gonna get to a point where you're gonna have to stop. I'm gonna go see Pool of Health, and then I'm gonna come back, and then we're all gonna see Pool of Health. He doesn't think that I'm gonna want to let you guys see Pool of Health, but he says that's up to me to decide after I see her. But I have to see her first. But I want all y'all to meet her. She's real important to me. And I think she's gonna be real important to all of you too.
Yeah, I think I don't disagree. Considering, and she kind of gestures around to like being here. We're a half continent away from where we were. I think it's pretty important.
So, Alma and Tennille lead you on. After like a couple 100 meters, I think Folan will stay with the rest of you because he speaks common, so he'll ask you to wait here for a moment while you go and see her. And Hephe, as you travel towards Pool of Health, as you get closer, you remember there being like this soft hum when you got this close to Pool of Health, but that's gone now. As you get a little more closer, you realize like there should be like this glow of the like lights in the pure water, but that's gone too now. As you get closer, you notice that Pool of Health is like at this point like really a pool. And where you remember like this super clear, like glowing water almost, it is all like trouble and brown. The silver blossoms that normally surround it have like all rotten and died, and there's basically nothing left of it. As you'd almost ask yourself, where is Pool of Health, as it were?
I'll look at Almer and I'll say, when?
It's some time ago.
It's only been gone for 6 months.
How long after I left?
Yeah, ik zit heel even... Oh, sorry, that wasn't Dutch. I was thinking, like doing a little math about how long it would have been. A couple of 2 months after you left, Chody started his rantings. 2 months later, or a month later, it started getting worse. He blamed you. And then we ousted him, and then it started getting worse fast. A couple days, a couple days ago, maybe a bit over a week ago now. And now, actually, because you traveled a lot, so that would be a bit. About 2 weeks ago now, it looked like she was making a recovery for a moment, but
The potion, did it help?
The vitality potion. I'm not there.
maybe that's what it was. We don't know what happened, but it looked for a moment like she was making a recovery, but soon after she started shrinking again. It was very inspiring to hear you speak about your communions. It gives faith that there is still life in this pool.
I was sent through her into those caves like Decorm was saying, and through there I made a bunch of what looked like centaur faces, and I think she was trying to show me how to save her. It was like almost by the time I was done, I was in hell. I think. Do I know what Abishai are? Did that name ever come to me? Did we know? Did that ever get identified as a name?
No, you all rolled like ridiculously low when checking for that.
Okay. Then I'll describe. Short.
Oh wait,
short-
maybe actually let me check because yeah, you do know because you asked the what's his face, the high priest, and he
Oh, I
told
did.
you-
Vapo.
He said he was
High Priest of
Abishai.
Vapo.
The High Priest
Yeah.
of Vapo, yeah. And I said I talked to the High Priest of Vapo, and after I had the communion, we got ambushed by what he said were Abishai. I think there's some kind of demon or demonic or devil kind of stuff going on, making Pool of Health weak. I think they might be working with Raj and Flame, and I think they might have made Chody go crazy.
He nods at you and he says, I believe you. But we don't know where he went. Well, he went north.
The Kingdom of Island.
I think I want to show. Oh wait, before I do that, I have these 75 tiny red mushrooms that I got from like a long time ago. Are those rotted by now, or are those still okay?
That was at least a month and a half ago.
That was not a month and a half ago.
Yeah,
that was
that-
at the Hags.
That was,
was that?
like
That was at the Hags. That was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, you're right.
it was,
My bad.
it was close to a month ago, but
Close to a month, but not quite. Not months.
let me check. Do I have those things in my notes, or did I just write them down somewhere and then forget where?
They're meant for like making healing potions and stuff. So if they're still okay, I was hoping I could throw them in the pool and see if that helped at all, because I still have them, and my goal was kind of like dump them into the vial. But if I could just dump them right into the lake, I figured that would work.
I'd say because I think you did have a chat with Teak about this, and otherwise, like, it feel like a dick now for you to poison your own god, as it were. But you do remember a conversation you had with Teak that those mushrooms need to be kind of refined before they can be used to for healing potions, and otherwise
Okay.
they can be as poisonous as they can be, as healthy as they can be.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. Then I'll give that to Fullen to take care of that when it's time. Then I'd like to go back and grab the rest of the group and show them Pool of Health and the state that she's in. And while I'm doing that, give Fullen the mushrooms to see if there's anything they can do with that.
He'll accept them, and he'll like move the rest of you to go there. You do notice like a couple of the rest of the town like came with you just as to kind of check on you,
Okay.
and they all do seem like extremely worried.
Yeah, I when I come up to them, I am very down, very sad. I'm like, Fullen, I think these might be able to help her. I don't know. Can you look into that?
He nods. And
Guys.
he takes mushrooms.
Guys, you need to see her while you still can, I think.
Okay, real quick. Does he do the mushroom thing in front of Asri?
Yes.
Or
Think
like-
so? Yeah, you'd be there.
I specifically haven't asked anything about this because she wasn't around for the red mushroom ones. But I have a question about the brew supplies with since that refined stuff. Would we be able to help in any way with that? If I was to give them some pointers on refining anything from that, or would that be able to help in any way for them?
We're not with brewer supplies, I'm gonna say. Like you
Making sure.
I
Making sure there's no
think
filters or anything through it.
you could like maybe help with that is that if they once they actually start the process, but
Duly noted.
like not in the how, as it were.
Gotcha. Just wanted to make sure. I apologize. Please continue.
All right. Yeah. So for you, the same thing as you Hephe leads you further in. You're kind of like waiting, and also Decorm, you've had this, you've seen this image of Pool of Health, and Hephe, of course, has been talking about it. But in the end, there's just like an edge of dead flowers where you imagine the waterline used to be. That
Yeah,
leads
like
into this very small puddle in the middle.
Like along the way, I would start pointing out like normally right here, you'd be able to start hearing her. And here you'd be able to start seeing and feeling her glow. This is what's become of her, guys.
Luke
Sorry,
actually just
Hephe.
looks kind of sad with folded ears, just like, man, this is like if I told you about my home and brought it there and it burned down.
If
Sad.
Rubel burned down, we'd have a lot of problems. I mean, what?
I don't think we have much time.
Do we know where he went? What direction or anything?
Almer said that he headed north.
Hephe, you mentioned you made contact with your father before. Could he not give you a heading?
I might be able to do that in the morning. I started to brighten up just a little bit.
I believe. What would
Yeah.
Asri want to roll to know because this is a long way away from home, that the kingdom of Esland is north of the Lost Swamp?
Make a geography test check. I'd
Would that
say
be
intelligence. Yeah.
Geography? That sounds like studying an intelligence thing. Hey!
Yeah, you do know that. It is far away though.
Yeah. Do we think that do we think that that's somewhere he would head? Is there a reason he would head towards the Kingdom of Esland?
Is Almer still with us, or did Almer take off?
Almost still with you.
I can understand him, but I can't speak the language.
I'll say, Almer, would there be any reason for him to go to the Kingdom of Esland for any reason?
Not specifically there, but that's not how he sounds like. But he went on the same quest as you. I think he intended to go to the spine, but I'm not sure.
Oh.
Do I know anything about the spine?
You know a lot about the spine. Because the thing that's kind of like unites both like first and foremost like all the clans of the Lost Swamps, but also one of like let's say 80% of the Lost Swamps, and also connects the Lost Swamps and the Sleeping Mountains is a part of their religion where, and this is especially common among like the races that get a lot older as elves and gnomes, where they once they go near their death, let themselves get on ships and go to the spine to die there.
Oh.
Do you know that that's one of the reasons why the Hephe is always a centaur? Because the Hephe gets buried near Pool of Health, and so can never go to the spine. And especially for elves, it is quite important to them often that they go there.
Okay. Would it make sense for him to want to go there if he was working with the Ravaging Flame? Like, it might make sense for him to want to go there if he's trying to heal her, but would it make sense to want to go there if he's trying to not heal her? I guess I could ask that in character. Almer, now, with the extra idea that he's the bad guy, or at least being controlled by bad guys, does it still make sense that he'd want to go that way? Or is there another idea that you think that we want to go, known to like the clan history or something? Because I want to be honest with you, I can make decisions, but I don't know everything. I know you know that I don't know everything.
History check for him.
I can try if you want me to, but I'm not holding my breath.
No, I made it for him. Sorry. For Almer.
Okay.
You'll say if he, well, we don't know exactly what happened when the Silverblossom clan was first formed. If the Ravaging Flame is dead or near death, it would make sense.
So if you want to go commune with Ravaging Flame, it might make sense for him to want to go to the spine of the world and...
But it could also make sense... Jody did see how... Well, not this bad, but... when he left, Pool of Health was in much worse shape than when you left. So he could have thought to go there and see if spirits make the same journey we do.
Asri will say in common and be like, wait. So like trying to get Pool of Health to move on, wouldn't that just kill her?
I mean,
or did I misunderstand that?
I don't want her to die.
It could be, well, we don't know if Ravaging Flame might have convinced him to go there and get her back, but then once he's there, trick him or pushing into forcing her to move on. And that's in the theory that she is there. We don't even know that.
I mean, it sounds like the only thing we have to go on is to go there and see what's going on, and maybe contact my pa in the morning and see if he's been on a boat or anything.
That sounds like the best idea, I think.
And Almer will nod at that. If you can contact either one of your parents, it would be a good source of information.
All right. Well, I need to get some sleep to be able to do that, and I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to. But is there anywhere where we can go lay down?
I'll say just for the sake of timekeeping, unless there's more you want to talk about with everyone or with Almer, he can just lead you to a couple quarters where the group of you can sleep.
I'm gonna look at Decorm and I'm say, I'm sorry. I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer before she can help you out.
Don't apologize to me. I have no idea what's going on because at least that guy keeps talking in this language, but it was not a good sight. Well, where is this Jody fella?
We think he's at the spawn of a world.
Spine of the world.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's where like all the nature people go. Some of the nature people go to die. It's part of the process.
It's a very big religious site.
Yeah.
I know. I know, Decorum. But if you're gonna be communing with gods,
I'm just
sometimes
gonna
you
start
have to go to
clopping
religious
away.
sites.
I'm just walking away at that point. If he's gonna be sighing about that, I don't have the energy or the patience to deal with that. I'm just gonna go to bed.
It's very fair.
As Hephe as we're all kind of leaving, Asri will look back at the pool and kind of try to silence speech because she's still testing the limits of it and say, "Don't worry, Hephe will take care of this," and then just keep walking.
You have to target a creature still, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she's testing the limits of it. Like I said, I may know, she does not.
Then for Ezra's sake, I'd say it doesn't feel like she connected to anything. But she
Isn't
still
that how
feels
prayer
hurt.
usually works?
No, usually I can tell if I've connected to something or not. That's how I could tell that I connected to Anthony and was able to silence speech with him with the hags.
No,
read,
I
though
said-
he was...
I said prayer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't say... I thought I didn't hear the word P at all. There was no P sound in my ears, I guess. I don't know. Maybe my ears stopped processing P's.
Don't worry, everyone else heard prayer.
And you know, that's why I said it's on me. It's the great thing about blaming yourself.
God damn it, me! It's all my fault.
Alrighty. Anything anyone wants to do before they sleep in
Set
their
up
huts?
watch.
It's a bit more privacy.
Set up watch.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you never know.
The last
say
time we didn't
that-
set up watch is because our person got kidnapped.
Yeah, we thought we were safe.
I'll say there aren't a lot of like very large spaces, so all of you are kind of like slightly cramped in one space. There's enough places, and they kind of prepared like this very hastily sleeping arrangement for all of you. But you're very cozy at the moment.
All right. So, are we doing watches the same as we did the other night?
Sure.
I'm gonna wake up last. That's all I know.
Where does watches?
It was me, Asri, it was Asri and Porcelain, and then it was Fluke and Chonkers, and then it was Decorum and Hephe.
Okay.
The camera's typing.
Oh, yeah,
shit.
that's.
I'm tired of looking at you.
I don't need watches. I'm safe here.
In that case, Porcelain and Esray make perception checks as you hold your watch.
Oof.
Ooh. 1 and a 2.
Let's go.
It is the two of you as you're having your watch. When you like went into the village, into the hut, there was kind of like this hope of it being a bit warmer as the rest of the swamps get very cold at night. But now that you're in here, you realize like, oh no, none of these windows have glass. There's also not like, except for the body temperatures of everybody, it is still as cold. So the two of you, it was probably more comfortable in the dome than
Yeah, that's what I was probably thinking. Should have made the dome.
and in the building. But other than that, unless you want to talk about anything, your watch goes by uneventfully.
Nope. Now the question is, would Fluke actually want to be woken up for a watch, or would he be like, nah, we're in the village?
He'd be paranoid. I mean, like you said.
Then yeah, she'd wake Fluke up, and Chonkers will be next to Fluke.
Alrighty. Same thing for Fluke and Chonkers. Make a perception check.
Wow.
It's
Well,
cold, guys.
Sleep.
Yeah, it's definitely still cold, and somehow Chonkers is the only one who notices that there's definitely still a couple of the townspeople, now with less suspicion and more interest, that are still kind of like keeping an eye on you.
Oh, there's people that can give him attention. He's going to spread his wings out and just kind of prance around for them to see him. Other than that, nothing else.
You know what? Make just a general charisma check for Chonkers.
Oh god.
It's
The cult
positive.
of chunkers.
Yes.
On the 19s
It
today.
it takes a bit, but at some point, a couple of probably gnomes, like kind of like at first they weren't truly hiding, but they were at least like kind of in positions that they could pretend they're not here to watch you. But after a couple of moments, a group of gnomes comes to Chonkers and try to pet him.
He will enjoy the love.
So I will say, even with the natural one Fluke, you do notice at some point that suddenly a couple of gnomes appear and start like petting Chonkers.
Like, good for him.
Wow.
Anything you want to do during a watch?
Well, should probably spend a little time studying, but there's probably not much else he can do. Cat's
All right.
being a ham, everyone else is asleep.
And in that case, I think Decorm is the last one because Hephe want to sleep in.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired.
Would actually say that
Actually, it took me a while to fall asleep, and then once I'm asleep, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's also like normally at the end of the last watch is kind of like when the sun comes up. It is this one. It's probably like when Fluke is ending his watch. The sun goes up as you started your rest much later than normal.
Alrighty.
Well then, yeah, I guess it's time to get up. So what time of day is it when I wake up then?
Well, first Decorm still has his watch.
Oh, that's right.
Give him an
Oh.
opportunity to notice.
If he's not gonna, if he has to do it alone, he's not gonna do it.
Well, Chonkers is still there.
Maul.
Still there. That's fun.
Oh god. That's fun. Damn it.
Okay. Guess I'll wake up and pet Chonkers and do watch duty shit.
Make a perception check.
I'm also looking for somebody who's awake, who looks like they have authority.
Well, first roll your perception check.
Oof. Oof. It's a 0, dog.
Yeah, 0.
I wanted to sleep anyway.
Yeah, you kind of start snoozing a little bit,
Chonkers is just so warm in your lap.
and yeah.
Exactly.
Then
He's gonna
at
start
one point,
purring
like
to lull you to sleep.
Chonkers also like starts like snoozing and just closing his eyes, and that's enough for you. And you think, we're in a fucking village. I can just go to sleep. We don't have to protect anyone right now. And you sleep for another 2 hours, like nicely.
No, being woken up from your watch is like a minor inconvenience. Hardly disturb your sleep cycle.
He just got out to pee for a moment. So then, I'd say probably around like 11ish is probably when Hephe wakes up. And the rest of you probably a little bit later.
It's been a day.
Yeah.
But that means Kozim should be awake. Which
Should be.
means I can do a sending spell. So let me regenerate my spell slots real quick.
That means... Oh no. Interesting.
You're interesting.
You're interesting.
Thank you.
Trying to find my last message that I sent.
That was a bit ago.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Thought you meant like that you already sent 3 level 3 spells this morning.
Damn.
I wake up with my daily
here we go.
3 times casting of Spiritual Guardians, of course.
October 4th was when I sent this.
The first 3 minutes when I'm awake, I just want to be surrounded by spiritual guardians, so people leave me the fuck alone.
Listen, don't speak to me until I've got my coffee or get whipped by spiritual vines.
Hermit a purple. Thank you, Cherry.
Alright, well, when we wake up, I nudge Azri and I say, going to do a morning run in this muck.
You know we are.
I tie my hair up
Pops
and I say, you're worse than my commanding officer.
Hey, you don't have to join me. You can always just lay here and not go for a run, like a person who lays here and not goes for runs.
And take shit from you later, I say as I put on my boots.
Exactly.
While we're out there, do we see anything of note?
Let me get to that after I've sent this message to Ralgo. Sorry.
Ah, sorry.
Well, you see, there's these cloning plants that decided to see because you went off on your own. And...
You know, that's fair. We are in a swamp, and there is God's stuff to boot.
Boot.
A boot. No, Cherry. What I referenced earlier, though, Hermit Purple is from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, and they're the invisible thorny vines that Joseph Joestar use.
Okay.
It's basically his spiritual guardians is a JoJo reference.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep talking about JoJo to you now.
Do I have a say in this?
I'm not gonna press that button because it's still at max volume. Hold on. I had to stop
Thank
myself.
you.
I am aware now that is thanks to Baffle that was significantly much louder for you guys than it was for me.
That's much better.
It was significantly much more loud for you guys than it was for me, and I'm like, oh, no wonder you hate it so much.
I was hearing that in class last time I was there.
Yes, I enjoy and appreciate that.
Were you in a cloud class?
Yeah?
That class is Clow. But were you in a classy Clow or a Clowy class?
I mean, you want in a classy cloud, you have to pay quite a bit.
I got a quarter.
I can't afford a nice dinner.
Sounds like a cup of noodles to me. Let's go. Woo!
Are we waiting for Slump to respond to the messages, or is that
I
just
sent
what's
a
happening?
message to Ralgo.
He just sent it. Yeah, it's,
What was your question, Baffle?
Oh, just if we see anything of note while we're out on the morning run.
Make perception checks.
Okay.
Did we do better than last night?
oh,
Little bit.
With the 12 and the 16, as you're traveling or running around, you notice that the village, though everything in first sight seems very open and very welcoming, it is still very much constructed like a maze almost. And yesterday it was very obvious where Pool of Health was because there was this row of guards standing there. But now without any direction, both of you don't think you could find her again without any help.
Awesome.
And I'd say with the 16, you also notice that there's definitely a general interest in you. You do notice that it's mostly gnomes that seem to
fucking love gnomes.
how do I say it? They seem to just in general have a more
Curiosity?
curiosity about the rest of the world outside of the Lost Swamps. A lot of the elves and the centaur are very content in their ways, and and the gnomes are much more oh, I want to see what it's like there, and I want to go there, and all that type of stuff.
Know where the people are. I want to see. No? Okay.
9.
Were you hoping to get a
I don't
round
wanna-
to go in there?
I don't want to get DC made.
Yeah, I was like, is it a
DMC.
thing? It probably is.
I think it's actually DMCA.
We're level 7. We can beat a mouse.
Oh.
When we reach that point where we feel we've gone the farthest before going back, I will tell Azri I'd like to do some stretching and exercises. Basically, she says it's about time, otherwise I'm going to start losing the strength in my ankles.
In your ankles.
I stand on point.
I get
Yes,
that.
my
I'm just saying
ankles.
you fight like that. What you mean you're going to lose your strength?
Oh, you don't understand. This has to be maintained constantly.
She narrows her eyes at her. Is like, I think what I'm saying is missed the point, but I get you. We can stretch when we get back. Or did you want to stretch now? Or do you want to try to run on tiptoe?
No, I put a stretch here. I like your friends, Asri, but still some things that I'd like to keep to myself.
Are they not your friends yet either?
Well,
If you have to ask, the answer's no.
I guess not. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Thank you for being a friend.
look, I'll be completely honest, Asri. I like them. Don't get me wrong, but there's still so much I don't know very much. And in my experience, especially in the 2 years I've been wandering about, it's best to get to know people more before you start revealing things.
Like stretching? Or is this a specific type of ballet stretching you need to get done here? And she's like realizing like, is this a specific type of stretch you can't do there unless they realize you're a ballet dancer?
Yes.
What?
Oh, okay. I suppose I was unaware that you'd have a specialized stretch, but all right. And she's going to look for an area that seems like not as many people like or like with the gnomes aren't paying as much attention to. But I don't think that is possible because they're paying attention to us.
Yeah,
Right.
you definitely figure you'd have to go a bit out of the village to not have eyes on you.
Look, I know it's strange, but believe me, when people start noting that you're someone, well, of note, things change.
I understand that. I just don't think you have to worry as much about that from the majority of the group, but at the same time, I can't blame you because
You haven't even
Rubel-
told them your own name.
I
Lecturing
was going
me
to
about
say-
keeping secrets.
It's not about keeping secrets, about them figuring it out. I wasn't lecturing you about that. Keep your secrets. I'm saying I don't think you have to worry about them figuring your secret out.
Looks at
He's going to
Hephe.
look at you and look at you and be like, I'm not lecturing you about keeping your secret. Well, get to stretching.
Chop chop, let's go.
So you make your ways a little bit out of the village.
Just
Or
a
do you
bit.
just stretch it.
Find an open space where you can stretch and do your thing.
Alright, and then that's over, we'll go back.
All right. Decorm, Fluke, anything you do, or Hephe, anything you do in between?
I'm gonna try to find Decorum and Almer or anybody else that would know about caves.
Decorm, well known for his knowledge about
Well,
caves.
I mean Decorum just because he shared a vision and might be able to
that's
give
true.
some help.
That's true.
Yeah, it's related to the so.
Hephe, hold up. I'm joining.
I'm good. Good. I was looking for you. I think they went through caves. I was able to talk to my dad, and he said that they went through the caves. And is it just me, or did that vision that we went in feel like it could have been a mine or a cave, like one of those ancient places that they were talking about?
Definitely.
All right, good. I'm not crazy. Let's go find Almer or Folin. Maybe he'll know. Probably Folin over Almer. I'm guessing Almer's more of a warrior. Folin.
Hephe,
Folan is more of like traps and arcane. I think Tanil is the hunter, so he'd probably know most about those areas and where it's the most dangerous and where it's the least.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I was thinking arcane for like history and stuff. Survival, that would make more sense too. So yeah, we'll go find Tanil.
Okay.
quick question.
Yeah.
Hephe. Yeah. Are we going to that spire thingy? Is that the plan right now? Is that...
The plan. Well, they said they went through the mines. They said they were going to the spawn, but it was a different way. They didn't have to go through boat. But like, the only way I know is by boat. So I'm not sure where these mines are, and they were attacked by spirits. So
Fire thingies?
I don't know. He didn't say what kind of spirits. I just figured the first thing we should do is figure out where these mines are, and then maybe I can ask him some more information about like where specifically, which mine he went into, if he knows. Maybe start getting some information, and then we can ask him important things instead of me just asking him all willy-nilly. Cause I can't do this all day, every day. Well, I mean, I can do it every day, but I can't do it all day.
Hear me out. Just a brain fart. Okay, you can send messages to that Cody kid, right?
I can send messages to Chody. I know Chody, but I mean, he's lying to me, so why would I want to send him a message?
But this is right up my alley. Beat him at his own game.
All right.
Send him a message and be hella shady. So shady that he starts to question himself. And like, am I the bad one? Or is Hephe?
I mean, I think he thinks he's the good one.
Huh?
I think he thinks that he's the good one. That's the problem. I think someone's messing with his mind.
Even better. Just send him a message and say, yo, hey, Jody, fucker, I'm here at Pool of Hell, and I'm gonna kill her, and there's nothing you can do about it. Fuck you. And then he has to come to us.
I hate how much you have a point.
I'm just kind of like
I
standing
actually
there,
do
like
too.
blinking, like.
And that's how Hephe got his parents killed.
Yes. I think we should talk to Folan about that. He seems like he'd know whether or not that would be a good idea.
Is that the guy who's gonna talk in a language I don't know?
I know he's a gnome. He knows common.
Ah, thank God.
He was the guy that told you guys to stop, and while we went to the pool health, and then we came back, and I gave him the mushrooms. That's fun.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Like him. Had a funny nose.
Yeah, so let's go find him in Tantalin. Let's go talk about these different ideas if we want to go hunt him down or if we want to try to like fool him to come back. Because if he thinks he's the good guy, then he would definitely want to come back, right? I mean, that would at least know whether or not he thinks he's the good guy.
And I do not want to cross the entire country again.
I mean,
We just got here.
you're not wrong. I do like home.
Me too. Ah, I want to show where you grow up. I want to see where you lost your cherry.
What's a cherry?
Oh.
Probably hasn't yet.
It doesn't even know what the fruit is either, so
Exactly. What's a cherry? I don't get this reference.
It's a fruit. The first. Never mind. Let's find that gnome.
like first they gotta explain why it's an innuendo.
I'm confused, but okay.
All right. I'd say finding them isn't that hard. They're probably looking for you too.
Okay. Do we find them at the same time? Are they together?
I'd say that there's like this small area usually where the leaders of your clan come together, and you do know that Folan, though he's definitely a respected member of your clan, he does not fall under the leaders, but he is there now anyway with Almer and Tennille both talking.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm glad you're all here together. We were looking for you.
And Almer gives you a nod.
Hello, everybody. My name is Decorm of Rubel. I come from the civilized part of the country.
Oh!
I would like to ask everybody to speak common during this conversation.
Oh, I can help with that today, and Folan will. Which I would say you'd probably be able to recognize as like a makeshift spell book, but it is like made out of like there isn't any paper. It's all like made of different versions of leathers with where then like with
Badass.
these engravings are the spells in made, and I believe it's tongues that he casts.
Oh, he casts third level
That's
spell tongues. Fuck yeah.
That's what the spell's called. Yeah, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that one.
Tongues allows you to understand and to speak. Good
Yeah,
combo.
tongues is awesome.
Target speaks any creature that knows at least one language that can. Yeah, so he can. He'll touch you, Decorm, and for the next hour, everyone understands everything you say, and you understand everyone else says.
I can offend so many people.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry.
Also, I don't know if I'll get a chance to
I love
say
where you
this,
go
but
first.
I did have the thought of when Cherry said earlier, we could find a mouse, and I'm like, little do you know, Minky is a level 20 Vengeance Paladin. Tell me he wouldn't be.
He definitely would be.
I mean, he certainly was in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
They'll pay
definitely.
They'll pay for knocking Goofy out. For Goofy.
So,
But before we go, Fluke, what are you doing? Before we spend the next hour on ignoring you.
Yeah, that's just like looking around like, where'd everybody go?
You just wake up empty. There's only chonkers.
everybody got kidnapped.
Well, Azri and Porcelain would come back shortly.
Yeah, after a bit, but still.
She's just petting the cat, just like, how do you never feel unappreciated?
He's gonna tap the diamond around his neck.
The trick is, chonkers just always feels unappreciated. Doesn't matter how well
How
appreciated he is.
appreciated he is.
I'm always angry. Like, so you're saying I need more bling?
Yes, that's exactly.
Wow.
Wow.
I hear that peacocking thing is just for insecure assholes.
He's gonna pop up, spread out his wings, and look around to see if there's any more gnomes that he's gonna prance around to get them to come pet him.
Any centaur children?
Yeah, at this point, like, word has kind of gotten out, and there's now definitely a couple of, like, from all three races, different children that are kind of, like, sheepishly, like, looking from a bit of a distance, and they're trying to hide, but they're not very good at it, and they're more concerned with, like, seeing everything than they are with being really hidden. And especially as Chonker starts prancing, they definitely, like, you see, like, from different corners a couple of children come and, like, at first kind of, like, make a circle around him, and then, the first one tries to pet him, and then when that works, then the next one goes, and then all of them, at one point, I don't know how much attention is too much for Chonkers, but he would be close to reaching it, probably.
He will keep an eye so long as nothing happens with that diamond. But if anything touches the diamond, that's when he will poof up, like not poof, but fly up a little bit. As long as that's
Don't
safe,
touch
he's
the
fine.
diamond.
Yeah, you know.
Just immediately imagine, like, one of the kids, like, noticing that the cat goes, like, slightly up when you touch the diamond. So like every once in a while, and just slowly Chonkers goes up, and then immediately at some point they're, like, jumping to see if they can still touch it.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Good job, Chonkers. You turned it into a game.
Well, yeah, he's just kind of like, can you get it? Mow. Oh, almost got it. Mow.
Mow, mow, mow.
Looks just
yeah, and
like
then he's gonna-
get like resting his head on his hand, just like, I can't tell if he's extremely secure or extremely insecure. Not in the middle.
He's gonna give you the thumbs up, like a thumbs up motion. Mow. Like it's both.
And while that's happening, I imagine Porcelain and Ezra come back. And as they do, we go to Hephe in Decorm. As you're... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, as you're approaching the three, there's like an free space for Hephe to stand, and one of them like grabs not really a chair but more like a stool for Decorm.
Thank you very much. So, let's talk business.
Yeah, I got good news. I talked to my pa. and he said that he didn't go by boat. They went through the mines and they were attacked by spirits. So I was hoping that maybe we could find out which mine he went through. Go hunt him down. But also Decorm here, he came up with a really good idea, and I don't know if it's like a really good idea or a really bad idea. And that's a problem with his ideas sometimes. Because sometimes they sound like they're really good ideas, so can you help out and determine if it's a good idea or not?
They will not. Tennille will say. Most of the mines underground are a whirling maze, and they're all connected. I've encountered spirits. I think those spirits, maybe were different ones, but I believe those are the spirits of the dwarves that used to work there.
Oh. All right. I mean, I don't want to meet with no dwarves. I mean, can we maybe try Decorum's idea? Do you want to hear it?
He nods.
I look at Decorum. You want to tell him your idea?
Well, of course. If I understand correctly, both Jody and Hephe are... What was the situation again? No, nobody. Okay.
They are trying to heal.
I'm just kind of like looking like I'm just giving you a look like, come on, please,
Please note it.
So, Jody and Hephe both have the best interest in heart in Pool of Health. At least they say, and you are not in a position to make a call because of some reason. Not gonna go into that. Leaving that alone. So I know that Hephe is the good guy. I mean, look at his face. Look at his face. You're not looking. Look at his.
I mean, since they let me see Pool of Health, I think we all agree that I'm not bad.
They nodded that, and they definitely still have been focusing on you. They were not looking at Hephe.
Yeah. Rude, but okay. So, why do we trust this Jody?
He has led the clan very well for almost 20 years now. No, more than 20 years now.
He went to shit with Pool of Health after he came here. Or when Hephe left, things turned to shit. Because he was in charge, right?
I mean, he was in charge before I left, too.
Yeah.
Missed that note. Sorry. Anyway.
I think what he's trying to say is that Jody thinks that he's a good guy, right?
They nod.
And Jody thinks that I'm a bad guy, right?
They nod again.
So what was... Yeah.
Hephe has this amazing ability, granted by Pool of Health herself, to talk to people all across the world. So he will, with your permission, of course, will sit here and send Jody a message in which he will say, as a lie, that he will attack Pool of Health and that he will try and kill her because he's evil and Jody is good and he's not. But Jody thinks he's good and he probably thinks that Hephe is evil. At least that's what he said in one of those messages, or that's what your dad said, right? That's what your dad said. So, Jody will, if he is the hero that he thinks he is, come back to save Pool of Health. And then we can all just have a nice conversation and figure this shit out. And maybe punch him, if he turns out to be bad. That's the plan.
They look at each other, and then Phone says, but if he gets here, then he wouldn't be bad, so we don't need to punch him.
I don't
Right?
know. All I know that his dad is kidnapped by this Jody guy. And I don't know about you guys, I don't know how this works in the wilderness, but in our books, and we have a book written, law, it's called, that it's bad.
I mean, I think we all think it would be a bad idea for Jody to bring Pool of Health to the spawnable world, right? So if we can make him come back with Pool of Health, that's a good thing.
They nod at that, and Almer will say, are you sure about this kidnapping? Because if that's true, then his intent might be more nefarious than we are hoping.
I mean, my pa did say that Chody kidnapped him.
Inside check.
On who?
On Hephe. I don't trust him.
Sure, roll it.
Roll it, baby.
I would be so proud of Ralgo if he played the long con here.
I swear.
Hephe is as unreadable and direct and honest as you always see him. You can never tell if he's lying, because if he were lying, he would sound exactly the same in your mind.
Oh wait, hold on a second. Guys, I was just thinking about the message that my dad sent me that when I talked to him the first time. He says that Chody betrayed us, kidnapped him, and that Chody follows the Ravaging Flame. So if my dad knows that, then I don't think Chody's trying to hide that he's a good guy anymore.
Just, sorry Hephe, but your dad is also a Hephe, right? Or a silverblossom, how does that work?
I mean, he's a silverblossom, he's part of the clan, but he's not a Hephe, I'm Hephe.
Hephe is king, right?
Let's just go with that, yes. I think that would be the simplest way of putting it.
But your dad wasn't the Hephe before you.
No, the Hephe before me was Hephe.
Your dad has nothing to do with Pool of Health.
My dad is a follower of Pool of Health. He's
Maybe
part of the
he's
Silverblossom
corrupt.
clan. No, excuse me?
Alright. I'm just having to put it in there. It would be very smart of him, and I know people who would be this smart. You just set up two good people against each other.
So
I'm saying that
I'm going to
one
look at
people-
Almer again. I'm going to say, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about.
Just putting it out there. Just trying to help, guys.
You see Almer sigh, and he does say it would be an amazing lawn con of him, but I guess we can't. Well, we can't say you're wrong, as he looks at Decorm. But it was definitely Chody who started talking about Hephe might being evil. Your parents went with him to try and prove your innocence, or how do I say it? Chody told us that he wasn't sure the same discussion we now have about him. He wasn't sure if you were following Ravaging Flame or being tricked by him. Your parents went with him to prove that you were being tricked over being a follower of him.
But wait, the mask in the cave didn't look like dwarves, right? They looked like centaurs.
They look like centaurs, yeah.
They look like centaurs.
Have I seen like one of the faces in that cave here? Or were they more like ancient old cave drawings? And like, were they people or were they faces of centaurs, basically?
They were, I'd say, the closer you got to that rock that was in your way at one point, the older the engraving seemed. You know what, actually, Hephe make a history check.
Oh, okay.
Can I try and assist him by drawing what I saw in the vision, and maybe just one of these old folks recognizes it?
Well, the thing is with the check right now is like about one specific face.
Yeah.
So, like you can't, because then you don't know which face he specifically. So you just have to draw like one specific one.
So should I still roll history?
Yeah.
Okay. Not terrible.
With an 11, as you are thinking about it, it is difficult for you to say, but one of the faces that you saw when like first entering the cave It seems familiar to you, and now that you think about it, it kind of very slightly, though, like looked like Chody. You're very sure it wasn't like Chody's face, but it definitely like had similarities to it.
Oh. One of the stone faces in the walls?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep spitballing here.
And
What's-
what made me think of that? Why? What made me make that check?
Because Decorm was talking about if the faces look like the people here, as it were.
Oh. I mean, one of the faces kind of looked like Chody, but it wasn't Chody.
I mean, that's all we need to know. Dude's evil. Was an evil kid. What is a lot of money to you people?
Oh, I swear to God.
Decorum, I love you.
The clan doesn't really use money.
Yeah. It's
But what do
great.
they say?
I mean, why do we need money? We just trade for stuff that we need.
Okay. That maybe Jody has a friend, like probably an ally that he kind of brainwashed because he's evil, and then we sent him a message, like his best friend from youth, I don't know, whatever. And then we say, here you have 100 trade things, I don't know, rocks, a house. Here you have a very nice house if you come back and betray Jody. Just spitballing again.
Well, I think the
Just
problem.
spitballing.
Well,
Why are your balls so spitty?
I don't want to. This is Almer talking better. I don't want to outright dismiss your ideas, but they are all risky, as we don't know the situation there.
What's gonna happen? Pool of Health is gonna get more dead?
I mean, can we not?
Well, we have with those messages and with them probably not realizing that Hephe is back already. We have an opportunity to surprise them.
I mean, my dad knows
It
that I'm
would be a
back.
shame, but well, assuming that he isn't hasn't been corrupted, he probably won't tell anyone.
Yeah. Sorry, Hephe. It's your family.
No, I mean, I don't think he's been corrupted. I mean, and he told me that Chody was lying, and it seems to be adding up. I mean, Chody said that there was a bunch of, there was fire wars going on over here, and that our village was being attacked, and that Pool of Health was trying to save everybody. And then I'll get here, and none of that's happening. There's no fire wars. There's nothing like that going on.
So, you want to surprise Jody? Because you kind of believe he's evil.
I don't think we can get him back here.
And he's. I don't know what's going on. I'm just rambling. I'm having a good time. Sorry. He's going to the spider world with a little piece of Pool of Health, probably to corrupt her more. If you believe us, that's what's probably happening, right?
Yeah, that's our current idea, I think.
Yeah, that's bad. We're not gonna get to the spine of health. We have no idea how to get there. We had the most powerful divination wizard in all of the land help us to get there in a couple of days. The spine of the world is basically to the other side of the world again. My point being, we should take action. Things might be risky, but at least they're better than sitting here and waiting for Chody to do his evil deed. Once again, it might be Hephe, but probably not.
I think you're right in taking action. I'm just trying to consider which ones. If that is true, Hephe, that Chody said that, then we can at least assume that he's at least actively and knowingly been lying to you.
That's what seems to be happening.
So
how do we catch up to him?
Well, it has been a couple of months before he even left here. So I almost can't imagine him already being at the spine unless he has some way of traveling that we don't know about. I mean, you got to here back quicker, much faster than we thought.
I mean, he said they
You
went through
had
the mines, so they
conversations
didn't
with
have to
your,
go on the boat.
but still, did your father tell you that he was traveling?
I mean, they
Or-
said that they didn't go by boat, and that he knew of another way to get there, and so they went through the mines. I can ask him some more questions if you want. I can't do those. Like I can do it quite a bit, but I can't do it forever. You know what I mean? I can only do it a couple times a day.
Well, I think the question is, did he say, since he's been lying to you, he probably also has been lying to us, did he say he was going to the spine as a cover? Or does he truly intend to go there? Maybe he has
Holy
something in the
shit.
minds
That's
that...
the first smart thing you said.
Jesus, Decorum.
But that's very smart. Didn't think of that.
So maybe they're going somewhere that isn't the spine, and it involves going through the mines, and they're just lying about it, and he's just lying to everybody else.
That could very well be the case.
I think that could make some sense. Are there any mines around? I'm going to look at Tennille, and I'm going to say, are there any mines around here that would have like centaur faces or anything like that? Maybe not the dwarven spirits, but like the centaur faces.
He'll think about that and he'll shake his head. The mines nearby here, I haven't been too close to them. Or too far in them, I should say. The couple things I do know is the deeper you go in them, the more aggressive the spirits become.
Did any of the mines have like a water or like a lake next to it or something? Like maybe you can get to it through water. So I remember going through water to get to the cave entrance, and I don't know if that was just part of a vision or if that was like, I don't know, maybe like a way to get to it.
I'm not 100% sure, I must admit, but I have traveled some time ago, and it would also line up with where Jody was going in the north. Now I have to quickly pick my map somewhere. But some ways north from here, there was one of the caves. When I went deeper in there, I could hear streaming water. I haven't been deep enough to see if there was a underground river or a lake or what it was, but sounds like that could be it.
How close is that to the dwarven mine with the spirits there?
It's connected to it.
They're all connected. All right.
Like the whole of the underground here is connected through various mines, and it's strange. The mines seem to have kind of dug in all directions at once. We don't know much about why or what they were looking for, but
Well, I mean, guys, can we all go like maybe and take this and get the rest of my friends? Because I think we're trying to get to the point where we're going to make decisions on which way we're going. I like to get all their input on it.
they'll not. And Folan will walk with you and say, I can only cast that spell twice more. So
That
I
spell
hope
being
some of your
tongues?
friends speak yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Do
worst
any of
case,
your
I can translate.
Me too.
Ah, dear God.
Ooh.
So Hephe and Folan go get the rest, I imagine? Decorm, do you come with them, or are you gonna sit with Almer and Tennille?
Fuck him. But I am gonna as we're walking, grab my sending stone and send. Can I do that with tongs? Send a message to Sakarina in Orcish.
No, it's just that whenever someone hears you, they hear you in a language that they understand.
Shit.
It's like an auto-translate,
At least.
not like
Why?
a...
So that way it sounds like
Be
an
a-
orc
be a
kidnapped
troll.
Decorum.
Could have been fun, but okay. No, I'll join in.
Okay. Anything the rest wants to do while this conversation was happening? I imagine it takes a couple minutes before they get back to you.
Yeah, I guess that depends if Porcelain or Ezra had anything to say with Flucus when they got back.
Good morning.
Morning.
Why do you two look like death?
We look like death? Jeez.
Well, seems so dreary.
I mean, way to boost a girl's confidence.
You're a girl?
I check my eyes. I check my eyes to see if I've got like dark makeup or anything.
I think we just all need some coffee.
Do they have that here?
I think they do.
I've got whiskey.
It's nice, but it's not the same.
You're correct.
All the same, Fluke's gonna take a swig.
So did you make any more of your prison bitch last night?
He's just gonna raise an eyebrow, just like... Well, I mean, I considered knocking out my guard, but I didn't, so no.
Yes, I can't lie. It was quite excellent when you left saying this is your area of expertise and then you immediately get captured.
I mean, if he hadn't said anything at all, he probably would have been in and out without anybody noticing him. It's the irony, honestly.
I mean, to be fair, I could have ran. I considered that. Considered acting like a feral little lizard creature and just, like, skittering up a tree on all fours. But I figured I'd get more information if I went along with them. I was actually wondering what to do, and then your little friend popped in, and I'm like, oh, excellent. And then it all sort of worked out, more or less.
It worked itself out.
I was honestly thinking this would go a whole lot worse. I thought we'd have to fight this whole town, and it'd just be a pile of knocked out bodies.
Oh, I didn't
Hopefully
think it.
knocked out.
I didn't think it'd result to that at all. If any of these people are like Hephe, they seem quite pacifistic.
Yeah, but I mean, when you turn pacifists into slaves, and
I don't think they have slavery here. I say as I look around.
I mean, they don't currently. Let's see what happens when that fire decides. Fire gets here.
When fire.
When the Fire Nation attacks.
Whoa!
I'm just more I thought this area was compromised. That's the point I was making.
How dare you think?
You know, how dare I be skeptical and, be concerned when Hefe's like, well, let's do absolutely no subterfuge and walk completely out into the open.
That is Hefe's way.
It is.
With
and it
that,
works- and
Hefe
I'm more,
appears.
I'm more concerned that it always works out, because eventually we're going to end up running from the firing squad, I feel like.
You're right. I was just about to say, it sucks that it keeps working out now, because the day it doesn't, he's going to be like, well, this was just the extreme circumstance. It's only not worked out once.
Hefe, at this point, like, is a couple feet away from you.
I mean,
Okay,
guys,
whoa, he's
guys-
that close. She would have seen him walking up and not said that.
Yeah, I told you when he was walking up.
I thought she was just going with a bit at this point.
I actually didn't hear him legitimately. I didn't hear Slumperd say anything.
Therefore, you did not hear Hephe.
Okay, Asri and me are two different people, but okay. You're not wrong, and the bit is great. I want it clipped.
I mean, to be fair, Azri, the first day we met those people, I mean, remember those bandits? I went up and we talked to them, and then we learned that they weren't there to, like, be nice or anything, and then we hurt them real bad. Remember that? So it always works out to ask nicely first, and then, you know, resort to other motives if you can't do it.
And am I wrong in your reaction in the one time that it doesn't work out, you're going to tell me that it is the extenuating circumstance?
What does that mean?
It's the rare case.
I mean, so far it's worked out more times than it hasn't.
And thus my sentiment wasn't wrong.
And sometimes in life, somebody needs to pay punched, like Joe. And that's what we're here to talk about.
You know, I will say when I think back to that, we did walk into a firing squad there, and they sucked. But they were just
would you
terrible.
counter that?
I mean, I just told them about health.
Yes, the Bernie health.
Well, anyway, guys, I wanted to come here to gather you guys because we were kind of having a council meeting trying to figure out how we wanted to get after Chody. Now, I realized we were getting to the point where we're starting to make some decisions. I thought, maybe I should get all my friends here to figure out what we should do. So you want to come along and figure out what we should do?
I think so.
Good.
All right, good. Let's go back and figure out what we're going to do.
Also, while you're traveling back, Folan will also tell you guys, like, I can make two of you understand everything and be understood.
I can cast comprehend language on myself, so that'll take me out of the
those
running.
two it is. And Fluke and Porcelain, you both have comprehend languages cast upon you.
Oh, cool.
Or not comprehend languages, tongues.
Oh.
I get to I just get to hear. You guys get to hear and talk.
Cool. I was gonna say I can speak Elvish, but I think everybody's speaking Sylvan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would be able to communicate with the elves, definitely, but...
Not with the gnomes.
Yeah. You'd get, like, a lot of trains of translation in between everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Porcelain says, I can speak Elvish, and then Fluke just, like, looks up at her just like, oh god, I didn't consider that you coming here might be awkward for her.
You didn't think coming here would be awkward for me.
Well, he didn't
just
consider
think
it
about
until
it.
just this moment.
He didn't even consider it.
Yeah. Let's go.
Howdy ho!
Fair, and this is out of character, a lot of places are awkward for Porcelain to go, apparently.
Yeah, I'm not really welcome in a lot of places, and the places that I am, I'm also not welcome.
I mean, Porcelain, you're always welcome here.
That was
She's
out of
not
character.
welcome in a lot of places, but she still goes to a lot of places.
That's why I changed my name and wear a disguise.
Right, Jasper?
Exactly.
Who that?
I don't know. Who is that?
All right.
So you arrive at the same meeting space. They've already pulled a couple of stools up for the rest of you.
Okay.
You have a small table in between of you, but it was clearly not meant for this many people to sit around. So I'm going to say that the elves and Folan are kind of like squished on one side, and then you surround the table.
Asri will sit on Hephe.
At first I thought Fluke wouldn't be able to see over the table, but I'm like, no wait, they have gnomes here. They would have stools just for the gnomes.
It's all like fairly low to the ground. Like the elves are just like sitting more on a cushion than on a real chair, as it were.
So, here's the plan. Hephe is gonna send Jody a message, lure him here, and then we're gonna beat his ass.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Wow. It's gotta work. Trust me.
I think Chody is bad, and he knows he's bad, and the people that are with him knows that he's bad, because of what my dad was saying. But I don't think we can convince him to come here. I think we have to go after him.
Who would win in a game of chess between the two of you, Hephe and Jody?
What's chess?
Looks like, do they even have that game here? I kind of doubt it.
I'm just gonna put it this way. I mean, even if they do have that game here, I think I would lose it.
Here's the plan. We're gonna go into the Lost Swamp and find a mine with centaur faces. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So like, here we don't know if he's actually going to the spawn. It could just be a cover. We know that he went to a mine that has a bunch of what we think to be dwarven spirits, and Tennille knows where that is. But also in my and Decorm's visions, we saw like the cave, and it had like a waterfront entrance to it. Like you got to get some water, and then we could go down in the tunnel. And Tennille knows of one area that he could hear some water, but he didn't actually go and explore the rest of the way. And we don't know where he's going. So like he might like all this underground area is all connected. And if we just follow him and go back to that dwarven area, then we're still gonna be like months behind him. But if we go that other way, and we go to the tunnel where maybe our visions were, then maybe we can get ahead of him, or maybe we can figure out what he's after.
Isn't there in this swamp a creature that has a very good smell, like a dog or a swamp dog? Is that a thing? A swamp dog?
I mean, we have lizards.
Can they smell good? Lady, do you have something of your father?
I mean, it's months old.
It's good. Give it to me. Give it to me.
I mean, we can go to his house and get something, I guess.
Perfect.
Yeah, probably.
Fallen, could you have someone go grab something from Pa's house, something that's his, and bring it back here?
Sure. And Foden stands up and goes get something because there's like you're in a very private area. So.
Thanks, Fallen.
So,
He gets back.
is there anything you want to do before? Well, after a bit, he comes back, and he has this old, well, not necessarily old, but this cushion of your father's bed.
I'm gonna grab it, put it in front of Lady Licky, and say, "Go get it, girl."
Lady Licky will. Oh wow, she actually rolled really well on that.
Thought she was gonna eat
it. Smells it, and she kind of like looks around, and then she darts off.
The chase is upon us.
Why do
It reminds us of the hunt.
This is just gonna go to Kozum's house. I know it.
Yeah, it's gonna go to his house. Yeah.
I'm just gonna look at Decorm when we get back to my house. I'm like, yeah, that looks about right. That's where my dad lives.
And
So it
you can
works.
see Lady Licky be like super proud of herself as she stands like in front of there.
I'll
Yes,
pet.
scratches.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll
he gets
pet.
his scratches. But it works, so we could go into the swamp and then do it there, and then hopefully she'll go to where he is instead of his house.
Well, besides that fact, he'll look over at Ezra, just like, are one of Tonka's various forms, do they have a good sense of smell? Would they be good at tracking? Could we even get him to track, to be honest?
I mean, he's really good at tracking things by smell, honestly. I was... Chonker's looking at that thing, realizing it was under your father's butt when you're like, "Mom!" But he does, I don't know if this would help, but he has keen smell for that.
That's it helped.
Okay, yeah. So Chonker's like, "Oh," as Azri's going to slowly push him, as like with those cats when they do dead weight, towards it.
Well, important thing is, when we do leave, we can get a heading. That's, I think that's the main point.
I hope if we get close. I definitely think that's true. But the idea is, do we want to go towards the dwarf spirit area, or do we want to like maybe try to go find the water tunnel maze area? Maybe try out over there, or do we want to go like somewhere else entirely?
Well, according to your vision, the maze was beneath the pool of health. Am I recalling correctly?
I mean, it was. I don't think it was necessarily like underneath her directly, as like the vision like sent us through, but it was more like there was definitely water involved in the tunnel, if I'm not crazy.
Well, how literal are these things?
I mean, I believe I was there.
Are you at all confident about being able to find that place again?
I mean, to be honest with you, the only lead we have off of is that Tannel knows of an area that he heard water running underground.
Well, if that's here, then why don't we look at that first?
Is that here, or is that like in the Lost Swamps here with Tannel?
It's in the Lost Swamps.
Yeah.
It is like within your within the silverblossoms area, as it were, because that's why he explored to make sure like nothing super dangerous is gonna come out of there. But yeah, it is like relatively close.
I mean, I'm okay with checking out that. Maybe we get a little head start or figure something out. I think that's not a bad idea. I just don't know if it has anything to do with where Chody's going. Just
Well,
kind
I
of
will
guess at that
also
point.
say, while we shouldn't dilly-dally, we also should not be panicked about his progress ahead of us, since what I can understand, he's not only leading with the Force, which takes time, but I don't think he has in much urgency. I mean, why would he? He certainly doesn't know we're about to be chasing him.
I would hope not.
That would have to mean that somebody here in the village is a spy.
So again, not to dilly-dally, but we probably shouldn't panic that he has a head start on us.
It's just a matter of catching up to him. That's all.
The next time you speak with your father, maybe ask him if there's an uncompromising way he could leave a trail.
I mean, I can ask him anything right now. We're getting to the point where I figure more minds made more sense when it comes to asking questions, since I can only do it so often.
Well, certainly, we can begin our search on our end, and he can begin leaving a trail for wherever he is.
But I don't want him to, get hurt or anything like that.
Well, of course not. That's why I say, are you confident in his ability to not be compromised?
I don't know what his situation is. I don't know where he is. That's a problem. I just know that he's been kidnapped, he's missing, and that he went through some mines and people disappeared, alright?
Is he still in these mines?
That's a good question.
Is it possible that these mines span from underneath the Lost Swamp to the spine of the world and it's an underground cavern underneath the water?
Oh, that's quite a bit of water to go through.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just asking if it's a possibility.
Daniel
looking around the
will
group.
say it's technically possible. Not a lot of people have gone deep into these mines. We know that the very large area of the Lost Swamps is connected through these various caves and mines. It's, I guess, theoretically possible that it leads all the way there, but that would be far and long. Most of what we've seen of the mines have been as much of an attempt to seemingly dig through and search out as much as possible. At least I couldn't see a reason for these mines to go all the way there.
Just with a shot and thinking. Second question, is it possible that he's taking these to somewhere closer to the Kingdom of Esland to get a boat from there to the spine of the world? Because it'd be faster?
I mean, they said that he didn't go by boat. They went through the mines.
Correct, and if they're still in the... no, you're right. They would have already been at Esland by now if that was...
Oop, my apologies.
I've got nothing then.
And Almer will actually respond to that as well and say, if they went by boat, you can't just grab any boat and travel towards the spine. It is a holy place. It's protected. You need to be allowed in, as it were, and the only way to do that is to travel by the spirits that come from there to take you. If he has some other underground way to do that, I'm not sure how that will work, but if you, for example, were to get on a boat yourself right now and try to sail there, you would either be redirected or your boat would be destroyed.
So first things first, then we've got to find a spirit that will take us to the spine of the world.
I mean, that's even assuming that he's going to the spine of the world. We don't know that.
Which is why I suggest investigating this cave system you have within your territory.
Sounds like spelunking day then.
It could at least
I mean,
give
I'm
us
not
some clues.
I'm not as experienced as most kobolds probably out of caves, but I've done a little dungeon diving here and there. It sounds similar.
All right, well, I think it's worth trying to check out if we can figure out where this vision sent us. I think we should try to go to the cave system that we heard water coming from. How long would it take to get there, Tenil?
About half a day.
All right, well, unless we can think of anything else that we want to ask anybody or do anything, I think we should maybe just start heading that way.
Well, I'm for it, I say.
Hi ho, the Mario. It's off to the space
Alright.
we go.
I mean, unless anybody can think of anything that they want to ask Pa or anybody else, real quick. I mean, I can do it two more times, but I'd only like to do it one more time if I'm going to be honest.
Well, let's hang on to the spell in case we learn something new.
All right, I like that idea. Let's go.
All right, and yeah. So with that aside, I was gonna suggest a break, but
Sounds good to me.
please.
we'll get to your message, Decorm, once after the break.
Sweet.
Alrighty, in that case, on break we go.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, quite bad. But how do you say? Some guy invited me to start working on an artistic Corona performance show,
I swear.
but everybody had to perform like online. It's actually pretty cool, but everybody had to fill in an artist name, and I didn't have one, so that I filled in Cherry Man. So now it's becoming a thing.
Awesome.
Yes.
Glorious.
All glory to the Cherry Man, the man of cherries, dominator of necromantics,
Brewmaster, master of ceremonies, writer of
writer of
lickies.
lickies.
That's new.
It is.
And
And I loved it.
as we are at Decorum, your message. Dear Sakrina, hunting a dick in mine full centaur faces in the swamp. Do you, or Lord? Oh, sorry, I should have given you a bit of time. Yeah, if the stream's still open, so I suddenly saw that switch. Do you, or Lord, have? She is gonna respond.
I do appreciate you using this. Camera S is typing.
Well, deal with I don't know on which page I am anymore, okay?
That's fair. I don't blame.
Alrighty.
Yes.
Bring it up, bring it in, Lord Orton for the win.
So, you got a response. Your last plan, I believe, was go to the cave where Daniel. There's too many names. I keep mixing them up.
Tenil heard water.
Yeah.
Yeah. The idea being is that I want to find the cave in our vision because we know there's water involved in that vision. So hopefully, 1 and 1 will make 2 and get us ahead of Chody instead of behind him. Who knows?
Make 2.
Or I get to punch through a boulder with a bunch of our faces on it and go fight demons down in hell because those are things that can happen. Who knows? Let's
Hey
find
man,
out. D&D.
we can do man this.
Yeah.
No. This is all for Lord
Ooh,
Chonkers.
what's that noise?
Is it gone?
It stopped now.
It was? Okay.
It sounded like someone scratching like their microphone or something.
I was drawing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was doing arts.
Do it a bit further away from your microphone, okay?
I was very far away from the microphone.
Well, you must have been very passionate about it because it was very hearable. So, is there anything you want to do in preparation before Daniel shows you where it is?
I mean, I have literally everything I need.
Me too.
We're off to
Wait,
see
Michael-
the wonderful whistle. Fuck you.
I appreciate that. The wonderful wizard of fuck you.
Fuck you, that's why.
Little known fact, that is actually the word of death.
Saying fuck you kills somebody. That'd be great.
Word kill. Fuck.
Alrighty. So you travel for a little bit. A little bit. It takes a couple of hours to get there, but by the end, I'd say for most of you, there is this opening, and it seems clear that this opening, like most of it is natural, but once you get in there a little bit, it very quickly expands and becomes much more of a mine. So that you figure that someone saw a cave and turned it into a mine. And
Minecraft music starts playing.
And as you walk in there, the first thing you come across is this very large room. And in this large room, there are a lot of also quite large cages standing. In these cages, you notice that all of them, there's no opening or there aren't any doors in these cages. There's a couple of slits and places where you figure there probably has been food handed through. But other than that, there's no ins and openings except for in the middle of each of these cages there is a trapdoor heading downstairs, and Daniel leads you to a little bit further in the back. It's still in the same larger area where you see this kind of acid pool has formed near one of the spaces over time and has created an opening through one of the walls, and that leads into a similar trapdoor, but this one is open. And as you follow him in through there, make a perception check.
Everyone?
Everyone who wants to.
Well, I want to.
Yeah.
I certainly do.
Why would we not?
Yeah. I
Woof.
don't know. I hate seeing.
Apparently so does Asri today.
But
Woof.
Decorm is gonna roll incredibly well.
He's rolled so well today.
This is third zero perception.
Hey guys, what are eyes?
You're suddenly realizing you didn't eat breakfast before we left, and you're wondering if you could maybe convince everyone to come back.
Yeah. Once Sir
Guys, I'm having these visions of colors and things in front of my... Oh, wait, I'm seeing.
How about an early lunch?
Bears to
So
get
actually,
carried like he's
we
freaking
already-
Cusco.
Because you woke up at early lunchtime. So without breakfast, it would be probably now. It would be about dinner time right now. For the rest of you, as you head downstairs, you realize that this pool of acid that has formed, where you enter like the cavern underneath, the acid is kind of like dripping out of the walls, and you realize that somewhere in this in that wall, like where the acid is dripping out, someone tried to mine in it, but like probably like a lot of acid like came out of there, and it was kind of like plugged up with stones and other things, but they're still like dripping out of there. Other than that, when you look around, it is a enormous maze that stretches out as far as like you can see in any direction. It is very much in a grid pattern, but then from
How
every
convenient.
from every wall, as it were, like these thin little cracks, like just barely large enough for a dwarf-sized person to kind of like squeeze through, are edged into every of the walls, and I'd say Porcelain and Fluke, as the two of you kind of like look at these edgings a little bit closer, you can see like a lot of people, like you can kind of like in a couple of them, not definitely not all of them, but in a couple of them, in the end at one of those inserts, there's like this almost perfectly spherical hole left, and almost every time where there is one of those holes left, there's also like very old dried blood left.
Ugh.
And you figure that the people here must have been very desperate for whatever was in those holes. Other than that, what's your name again? Daniel stands, and he'll. You can see like now. That's actually also a thing that everyone except for Decorm notices. There's these small etchings on the walls, on the right side to you, that Daniel last time used to track where how to get back. And following those, he shows you, and when you get to like a hole that goes even deeper, and from down there you hear also like streaming water.
Any of this looking familiar? I ask Hephe.
As we looks to Hephe.
I don't think it looks familiar, but that water has me interested.
Can we go through this hole?
It is a. You look at it and you figure that once there was a ladder in this hole, but it's long gone.
Asri can take 10 minutes to cast water breathing and then slow fall down there and try to climb back up, but we
Well,
could
you
also
also
just
have
send
to-
chonkers.
You also have to cloak spider climb.
Oh, wait, you're right, might be. So yeah, she can just do water breathing real quick and then walk down there.
You know, water breathing probably sounds like a good idea for all of us anyway. I mean, it lasts for a whole day.
And it's 10 creatures.
All right.
Oh, take 10 minutes to do that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then she will have chonkers with her as she walks down there. And just kind of float down with her. How far down did you say it was?
I didn't say anything yet, but as
Didn't
you
think so.
climb down, you find it is about a 30-feet drop. And when you are underneath, where you appear is previous. It was like this grid pattern and a very clearly like a man-made cave, as it were. In here you find like a much more natural cave. Same like edgings and things in the walls that were upstairs. And you can very clearly hear, like from where you're landing, it'd be on your left, I think, that you can very clearly hear the water stream, now much louder. Sounds to you like a quite fast moving stream.
I will go back up, and communicate that to them, and just basically say, fast water's down there, but other than that, it looks like just continuations of the caves up here that they never got to. Or maybe they did and just didn't complete.
Well, if I remember right, with visions, it didn't. At the beginning, the tunnels didn't look so man-made. They look more natural.
Definitely looks natural down there.
Well, you guys want to go check it out and see where that stream leads, if we can find it?
I mean, we're not going to drown now, so that's a lot of the concern.
A lot of the concern, I imagine you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the concern is gone. If we don't drive, we're not going to have to drown, so...
Fast water's still scary.
I mean, I'm not saying we need to go in the water. I'm just saying we go find out where it is, right?
I am going to ask, depending on how hairy things get. Hephe, do you still have water walking prepared?
Oh yeah, I still got that.
That's insurance.
I mean, so worst case, we just pop up right back to the top of the water.
Granted, if it's rapid, that... Do we know how water walking interacts with rapids?
Wait, what just happened? For description only.
Apparently that is what happens when you click the bubble.
Interesting.
Weird.
10 running creatures. Yeah. I'd say it would be like walking on one of those horizontal elevators.
Conveyor belts.
Yeah.
Question is, could the characters even, like, imagine what that's like?
No. I was literally thinking to myself about, like, saying, oh, I think it'd be like a conveyor belt. I'm like, those don't exist.
Yeah.
I think that the closest thing...
Trying to walk on a flying carpet going in reverse.
well,
How do
like
people
just
even know
trying...
what that's like?
No, like I don't think there's a good comparison.
The answer
Like,
is no,
you
we don't.
tell that to your wizard friend, they probably be like, oh yeah, but for most people it's like, wait, carpets fly? What is, I don't know what a flying carpet feels like, even if I've heard of it.
Yeah, none of you have a... Like, you figure you definitely won't drown, but you're not sure what would happen if you stand on the water. On moving water.
Let's just make sure
Probably
none
like an
of us get
earthquake.
thrown against the rocks. That
the
seems
plan.
to be... Buddy system!
Okay.
Alright then, shall we descend?
Take out 50 feet of rope.
Okay.
Get down to business.
I feel like very few good things follow that question, should we descend, but...
I'd like all of you to make an athletics check.
Oh, great.
Well, except for Ezra, because she can do the spider climb thing. And Hephe with disadvantage, as this is definitely not a hole that was designed for centaurs.
Well, I show off.
I'm really good at acrobatics. This is... I'm gonna need you to save me in a hot second there, Porcelain, probably.
There.
No, you're good.
Yeah, it's
You're
definitely
good.
Good.
Better than I thought. Just like...
You climbed a rope before.
12.
That makes
I
sense.
mean, yeah.
The first three of you go perfectly fine. Fluke is like a little slower as to kind of keep control over his own body weight. Hephe, you're doing pretty good, and you're kind of like proud of yourself and how well you're doing, but then like somewhere near the end, like about 5 feet above the ground, suddenly one of your hoofs slips and you fall down. And so you don't take any damage from it, but
Knocks
you
the
were
wind out of you.
so close. You feel like you could have done this.
Whew. I made it. I made it.
Would Neil come with you further?
Would we need them to?
He's a good survivalist, right?
He is gonna remain above, and he'll draw. Actually, he will like let a couple of he probably would have given you to you before you went down. Give you a couple of pieces of chalk to help you remember like where you are going and where you've been as well. And he'll say, "I'll remain here above. Message me if you need help."
I will do. Thank you, Tanil. I appreciate you leading us here.
And with that, all of you, like you can clearly hear the water. It's very loud. It is also at this point probably like a little bit echoing through the various like hallways of the cave. And as you make your way through it, it is at one point the road, as it were, just stops, and then there is this big hole underneath which, let's say about 10 feet underneath, there's just this very fast moving underwater cavern, underwater river.
As we
now
look to
standing
Hephe,
above.
I mean, like, does this look familiar?
I don't think so.
Well, which direction should we consider going? With or against the river?
I say we follow the river, see where it goes. I mean, are we able to, like, does it look like we can get past the hole, or is it just like a hole that leads to the river and that's it? Like, this is the end of a road?
It seems like someone was mining here, and then suddenly the floor gave out under them and they fell in the river.
Oh. So we're at the end of the mining road. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say anyone with dark vision can make a perception check at this point.
Nice.
Alrighty. Fluke and Porcelain, the two of you, as you kind of like inspect like as much as possible from what you can see from your space.
Hey, you see something?
As Decorm looks at it, you do see the river. You can see like a bit in the distance. You notice that the space between like the roof from where you're looking now and the river becomes smaller. So basically at one point you realize that if you were standing on there, you would still like kind of be forced underneath the roof, as it were. But Fluke and Porcelain, as you are looking around, you also see that managed to see that on kind of your side of the river, so it's fairly difficult to see. There seems to be like a small path that moves besides the river, and since both of you also have 21, for a quick moment it looks like someone's walking there, but then the next moment they're not. And then if you stare at it for a couple of seconds, suddenly there, like a little bit further, you see a form walking again, and then disappear later again.
Looks
Like,
out for
the moments they're visible are like 2 or 3 seconds long at most.
Looks like did you also see that?
Wait, you said so it's invisible. In that case, I decided not to have roll chonkers, but since he can see invisibility things and has dark vision, I'm gonna roll a perception check if that's okay
Sure.
for him.
Yeah, because I'll say to the other ones, look sharp, I think you're not alone.
I'm assuming he doesn't see shit.
Lord Chonkers doesn't see shit, no.
Yeah. Not even double digits. Damn.
Well, we've got, did we already cast water walking on us? Or is that yet to be done?
We had water breathing, not water walking.
Okay, gotcha.
They kind of cancel each other out because you can't go under the water when you have water walking.
Well, yeah, water walking's only good for like what, an hour, while water breathing is good for an entire day.
Yes. So I can cast it and we can walk on the water. And I'm okay with doing that. It's just like.
Well,
You probably want to wait with that until you actually know you're going to do it.
Yeah. And you said this path is on the other side of the river from
No,
us?
it is on your side of the river. That makes it like you kind of have to like lean over the edge to be able to see it as well.
And it's a ritual spell, so I could probably do it. It'd be safe. It would probably be safer to cast Water Walk and be on top of the water if something weird happened, like the ground gave in underneath us.
Especially now that we saw something and we're paranoid.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and start casting Water Walk on us. Because you can still have both on there, and then worst case, you know, you can decide to, because I think it's willing creatures. Yeah, willing creatures. So if you're not willing to have it on you anymore, I think you can just remove it from yourself, and then you can go underneath water and just breathe water. It'll be perfectly fine.
No, that's neat.
So why don't we do that in preparation? Oh. Boop. Ten minutes later, we all have water walking and water breathing.
Okay.
And I have a fourth little spell of control water, so there's also that. If things get really dicey.
We're like Merfolk Jesus is up in here.
Right? Triton CS, the fuck are those guys?
Give me 1 second because I'm quickly making a map for this a little bit.
Ooh.
Fair.
I need to do the
Frightening,
around
but
that.
fun.
It means we can get lost.
Of course you can get lost. Have you been tracking where you were going since you got here?
I mean, I'll track our buddies upstairs, and I'm hoping they don't just leave without us.
He gave us chalk. We're fine.
Oh yes, because nothing could wipe the chalk away.
No. I'm on the
What kind of
wrong
asshole would
layer
do
and
that?
I'm using wrong tool.
Almost like things also eat breadcrumbs.
I get so tired of myself.
Amen, brother.
Well, you're the only person you can't get a break from, so it is kind of...
Yeah, that's fair.
Since he cast, oh no, that wouldn't work because I didn't see it. Never mind.
What?
I was gonna see if I could do detect magic while he was doing water walking. That way I could try to find that creature, but then I realized Asri didn't see it, and neither did Chonker, so there'd be no reason for her to do that.
I mean, they
during this
probably
time,
told you.
Okay.
during
Not
this
to mention we're
time,
paranoid, so you know. Detect magic is great for people who are paranoid.
During this time?
that the ritual casting has been going on, if I continue to watch that same area, does the figure seem to return in regular intervals?
Make a perception check.
Hi.
30 feet, okay.
Well, 20 wins today.
After a little bit, for a moment you think it's returned, but then you realize it is a different, much smaller form.
I like nudge who's ever next to me, probably Fluke or Asri, and I say, I'm convinced there's people over there.
Give me a
Guess the
second,
question
one
is, are
more.
they scouting us or hunting us?
They
Well,
don't
we won't
seem to
know.
have, like, or at least they haven't reacted to you in any ways.
I'm not sure that we've been detected at the moment, but we'll definitely know when we go over there.
Okay, this is...
Just a few people ritual casting spells. No way they're detecting us, right?
I'm actually going to pull out Elvira, and I'm going to look at her and I'm going to say, go do your thing.
Okay.
Seeing Elvira fly off, chonkers will follow.
Yeah, with his glowing ass wings, yes,
Yes.
this is going to be great.
No, I'm making. No, he's gonna. He'll stay here. Asri will call him back because you're right. That glowing wings is not a good idea.
It's like Batman, like, I'll stealth ahead. Superman's like, sure. I'm like, dude.
That is a thing that happens in a lot of the comics, and it is one of the banes of Batman's existence. Let me inform you.
Get something black, for fuck's sake.
Stealth suit.
Okay.
Please, Superman.
Let's move all of you over there.
Oh.
There's a map.
So that
Let's talking about creating it.
black hole, that circle in the middle is like from where you're looking down.
Looking down from that. Got it.
And like it's about here that you see the creature moving, or the figure.
Alright, so I'm going to then have Elvira do some flitting about. I don't think it'd be weird to see a bat around here in a cave. And when she comes back, I'd like her to tell me in her own way how many are down there, if it's like or if they're people or if they're creatures.
Okay, gonna quickly check her. She has 60
Intelligence.
feet blind sight. Can just blind sight. Okay, but she does. Yeah, she does still have her sight. So, make a perception check for her.
Not the greatest. Doing her
With
best.
11, when she comes back, what she at least reports is that she can't. She can when she looks at them, and because you've pointed out where they are moving, and when she looks there and waits patiently, she can sometimes see something moving, but she can't detect it with her echolocation.
Strange. Making me wonder if there's anything physically there. Hephe, are there any, I don't know, mystical delusions that you know of in the swamp?
I mean, Tannel said that there were spirits in here. Is that a mystical delusion?
Well, no. What? I'm sorry. What exactly is a spirit? You've used this word before. Is it like a specter or a phantasm? What are they?
I think in this sense, I think he means ghosts.
Ghosts.
Yeah, dwarven ghosts. I mean, he was saying that there were dwarven ghosts in the other mines, and that all these mines are connected and everything. And we were saying that these look like dwarven squeezy crawl holes. So maybe that's dwarven ghosts. I don't know.
I'm afraid of no ghosts.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all, Hephe. I want you to know when I say this. But, I'm still wrapping my mind around the fact that there are deities which do exist and have power in this world. I'm having a bit of a hard time wrapping my mind around phantasmal spirits being real.
I mean, you can go up and talk to one. Maybe. I mean, we can always just go find out. Let's go find out. I'm gonna start walking towards it.
You're gonna
Wait.
jump out of the hole because you're still like 10 feet above the water at this point.
Oh,
you're
never mind. I
looking
won't
down
do
at
that.
the location.
Never mind. I won't do that.
Has anyone else got any rope? I left mine as a climb out.
Let me see.
I mean, we should all have rope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I imagine.
probably.
Well, I just don't know if
That's
I
60
used it honestly,
I give her
I
my
have
or
rope.
something.
Decorum gives rope.
All right.
Okay. Make a survival check.
All right. I think I actually have. Yes, I do.
Spend a lot of time in the woods from what we've seen. That would make sense.
With a 13, you go around, and it's a good thing that that it's like only that because it's a 50 feet rope, right?
Yeah.
I think 60 usually.
No, it's usually 50.
Yeah,
Oh.
50.
Either way, both those work as like you have to move quite a base back before you find a place that you feel are confident that won't break off under anyone's weight.
All right. I'm going to forever who can see me up there give a signal that I've found a good spot.
I can definitely see it.
Yeah, I imagine it's Fluke and well, no, Decorm would also be. So anyone with dark vision is able to see it.
Are Fluke and I the only people with dark vision in the group?
Decorum.
House as well, right?
Decorm has right, I think.
Chonkers.
Yeah.
If I look through Chonker's eyes, I have it.
It works, sort of. All right, you have a rope dangling in the water.
Get yourself a dope rope.
And you see the rope like getting swooshed away a bit with the stream. The water stream goes to the left from here for this map.
Now that I'm down on the ground, do I have a better visual?
I will say because you would land on the water. And make an athletics check as you're trying to get to the land then.
Oof.
So, as you land, the water, you were prepared for the water to be fast. You weren't prepared for how walking on water and moving water would work together. So as you try to move to the land, you kind of get swept off your feet for a moment. And you're dragged about 60 feet against or with the current before you kind of manage to regain control, and you get like a little bit towards the towards the shoreline and make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, thank God. No!
Should have given you bless. Is what I should have done.
As you're
I'm just thankful that like only 2 people can see how badly this is going.
I'm looking through Chonker's eyes.
well at the second space, because Fluke has 60 or 90 feet of
60.
dark vision. 60. So in that case, actually, you see her getting swept off, and you kind of see her regain control, but then she also leaves your range of vision. And at that point, Porcelain, you manage to get up. You get again a lot closer, but at this point, you're getting close to the point where the roof is getting lower. And you kind of hit your head against it, and you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. But after that, you do make it to the shoreline, and you're
What a bump.
about
What a
100 feet away from where you landed.
Can you imagine from what Fluke can see? If anyone's looking at his face, he's just going like, ooh, ooh.
I dagger onto the shore and check for bleeding.
Yeah, you do feel, or like when you, I'd say like for a moment you think it's bleeding, and then you notice no, that's just all the water that is that got on your face when you fell, when you face planted on the water.
All right.
But you have made it to the shoreline.
I would like to stealth towards where I believe I saw the figures. Then.
All right. Make a perception check as you do so, and also a stealth check.
Okay, I'll start with that one. Better. Yes.
Hey.
Despite the ringing in my ears.
Made you focused on staring.
Yeah, you can't hear anything for the moment, so your other senses go better, because that's how it works. And as you are moving up back to where you were, you see them like kind of like blinking again, and you manage to move away. And at first you're doing that very stealthily and making sure that you can't be seen, and I'd say like Fluke for you, it takes like further than closer than your vision range before you see Porcelain again. But at one point, Porcelain, you realize that they don't seem to notice or at least react to you at all. They're just... it's almost like they're just like aimlessly wandering.
But I can see what they are now.
Yeah. They seem... how do I say it? They seem almost as if they are made out of mist. Out of like this, very thin black mist. And you notice that most of them are, or at least are shaped like dwarves. And some of them, you notice a couple of humans, you notice a couple of centaur. Here and there you might notice an elf or a gnome. But like by and large they are dwarves.
But they are spirits.
That seems like them.
Porcelain's gonna say under her breath, well, I'll be damned.
Not make an arcane check actually.
Person who doesn't believe in ghosts, just like, oh, well, fucking ghosts.
I'd say during your training you might have heard of shadows and or like the creature shadows. And those, though these don't seem to be exactly like that, they do share similarities.
Alright, now I'm trying to think back to everything I've ever heard about ghosts. Can they hurt you? Is there a way
Yes.
to commune with them?
Don't.
Alright, what do you do?
I'm going to actually send Elvira off to go find Azri, and Elvira, as soon as she gets there, is going to start tugging on Azri's ear as a kind of signal since she can't see me.
Okay. I will go with Elvira.
No, you've already forgotten. That's alright.
Oh, wait, no, my apologies. My apologies. Let me look at the notes.
I imagine she's pulling out like cue cards from her pocket. Again, just like
Yeah,
wait,
there's
which
that
one-
is a signal for something. I just remember what it was at the moment. That's my
When does
fault.
this mean? I forget.
Scrolling. I think. Are we within distance of that?
I don't know. What distance?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna have to get closer for that to do silent speech because that's only 30 feet.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize it was that short.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point you're a bit farther away than 30 feet.
I will try
Damn.
to actually though see if I can slow fall, like holding the rope as I go down, kind of to make sure if I do start to get swept away, when I land I can grab the rope, but kind of just hop down.
Okay. Make an athletics check with advantage then.
Advantage button. Athletics. Oh boy.
13. You saw, or well, at least you heard the reactions of what happened to Porcelain, and you prepare better. And as soon as you land, you notice you're getting swept off your feet, and you just hold on and grab to the rope, and you manage to kind of like dangle on the rope.
Do I have to do anything to steady myself, or do I get steadied after a minute?
Well, you're still being swept, but you're not like
Gotcha.
going anywhere. You're just anchored on the rope.
Alrighty. And the shoreline's a bit away, so I will wait until I can steady myself and then head that way if possible.
Okay. Make another athletics check.
Athletics, so bad. Oh, I wasn't supposed to be advantage. Sorry. Oh, that's a 4.
The 4. You can't really find a moment to properly steady yourself, and at some point you feel like, okay, I should just go for it, and you start like, you're a monk, you're fast, so you feel like if I just make a run for it, I can get there. And as you start sprinting, you immediately also get swept on your feet, off your feet, and kind of have to like resteady yourself. And you also make a dexterity saving throw.
Woo! I'm gonna hit him real quick. Jesus, on my roll.
With a 13, you no, at this point you wouldn't have known what exactly happened anymore, but you also get swept further. You manage to get like to the shoreline a little bit faster than Porcelain did, but you still like scrape your head, like you have to kind of like push yourself off of the roof, as it were, while you're making those last movements, and of the scraping you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Well, I'm assuming Fluke gave us the temp HP.
I mean, yeah.
It's kind of just the
I mean,
assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Asri at that point will try to stealthily also find Porcelain and assume that she's heading towards these ghost people.
Yeah, I imagine she's standing like a couple of feet, or like 15 feet or so away from it.
All right, I got within range. What's up?
Well, I'm glad I didn't wager money on this, because apparently ghosts exist.
Yes. I'm glad you didn't wager money on that as well.
What are we supposed to do here? Are we supposed to talk to them?
We
avoid
could
them?
probably ask Hephe. He's the resident expert on this kind of stuff.
Well, where is he?
That place I discussed. She's gonna have Chonkers go back and try to convince the party to join us.
All right, I'll come down.
Just kind of crack his neck.
athletics
Just
check?
like I'm not looking forward to this.
So, yeah, Hephe, for you it will be again with disadvantage, as rope climbing is not meant for horse people. Like, at this point, you don't even have a wall like to keep yourself steady.
Poor Hephe.
Oof.
Woofda.
With a 5, you kind of like look at it, then look at the rope, and like you hold the rope so you can like grab it once you land. But as you land, contrary to popular belief, water is not fully even. So you immediately like 2 of your feet get kind of like swept away, while the rest kind of like stand there weirdly, and you also get swept. Dexterity saving throw.
No, with disadvantage. That should be normal. Doesn't matter. Oof. Oof.
You hit the rocks quite hard as you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oof. Oof.
And like similarly to how Ezra had to like push herself off of the wall, as it were, while she climbed downwards. Same with you, but just a lot slower and a bit more hurt.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Who's up next? Who's up next?
Luke just kind of like does a flourish to Decorm, just like, you good sir.
All right, Decorm, athletics.
What happened to Cherry?
I'm here.
He's here.
Okay.
He just told us how we're the frickin' Goonies.
Okay, I
It's
wasn't
accurate.
I wasn't sure how accurate that was.
I didn't want to fiddle at this, but you're right.
I'm not gonna lie, since Fluke and Decorm have this like friendly rivalry going on. As soon as he starts, Fluke just like peers over, just like, I want to see this.
Just fucking shit-eating grin.
For Decorm, I'm gonna say it's kind of similar as to what happened to Porcelain, that it's just not a combination of like not knowing how to work with a floor that moves under you. And you stumble, and you try for a moment to keep your balance, but then you also fall. And also make a dexterity saving throw.
Hey.
18. You, however, managed to steady yourself a lot faster than the rest of the head has done up till now. And you managed to much safer catch yourself and make your way to the shoreline and join Hephe.
That was fun.
I
Actually gonna-
disagree.
Luke just like snaps his fingers up from above, just like, okay, my turn. Oh, I've had to watch so many people literally eat shit on water. Okay, well, the rope part will be easy, he says, getting
Chonkers is watching.
That's fair. He's just like scaling down the rope. 'Cause
Wow.
I'm gonna say you can't make Fluke eat shit on the rope. The rope part is not what he's gonna have trouble with.
No, that's make an athletics check.
Just scaling down like a pro, just like, oh, I probably look great until I get to the bottom. Let's see.
Oh,
Nope.
Yeah, that's about right.
So,
you just grabbed the rope part of the rope. There was no rope
yeah.
there.
I can just imagine him like dipping his toe and just like instantly, yeah.
What?
yeah, up till now, all of you kind of landed and tried to steady yourself and then fell. And Fluke is just like, as soon as he touched the water, he just swept away.
He just accepted the fact that he was gonna fall,
Yeah.
so he didn't even try.
Chonkers is flying after him as fast as he can to keep an eye on this to watch. Mom.
And make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, well, hopefully,
Don't hope.
This should go better.
yeah. 12.
12.
Wasn't enough for me.
You managed to, similar to Ezra, you managed to steady yourself and managed to, like, avoid the heaviest parts of the wall or of the hit, as it were.
That's just be like, evasion.
Well, I'll say with your evasion, you managed to, before you, like when you're making that last part and climbing, there's this like dangling stalactite, I think, from the, I don't know, but
I
one of
think
the
it's
two.
tight because they hang tight to the ceiling, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you managed to, with your evasion, you managed to dodge one stalactite, and because of that, you only take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you climb back to the rest of them.
Guys, I don't want to be that guy, but are we gonna have to go back the same way?
I don't think we can go back up anymore. I'm gonna be honest.
You can control water. That mixed with water walking, just raise the water up, right?
I mean,
okay.
yes, I can control water, but like that takes a lot out of me.
I'm just saying, if worst came to worst, right? It's a possibility.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if everything comes to like a standstill, yeah, I guess I could do it.
Okay, see, that's what I mean. Like, our worst case scenario is that then, if we can't find any other way out.
I guess that's a pretty okay worst case.
Yeah, I mean, if we're in that worst case, then we obviously can't go any higher. We sleep somewhere if we have to, and
Hell,
then
I could
we
just walk up there and
freaking
drop
leave.
the rope.
Yeah,
That
why'd
too.
we come down here?
Ghost people.
We need to know what to do about them. And I say, and I point over.
Yeah, we had to prove a point that ghosts were real, and then ghosts were real, and so we realized that you're the resident expert, Hephe, and if we're gonna have everybody down here, we want everybody down here, because if ghosts attack, it's scary, I think.
For everyone without dark vision, it's literally just like sometimes you maybe see movement, but that could also just be your imagination. Like, especially without the dark vision, it's really hard to tell that anything's there.
All right, so I know that I can destroy undead. I don't know CRs. I don't know how that works as far as lore knowledge and all that stuff goes. Do I feel like I could destroy ghosts if they're only ghosts?
Make a religion check.
Okay. Oh, goody. I'm not very good at that. An 11.
Okay. With 11, you know that the term ghost is very like broadly used for all manner of undead, and you know that like the most like powerful version of ghosts, and which are usually ghosts that can like talk and act and interact with people, those would be far out of your range to destroy. But from what you've seen here, like assuming that Porcelain told them about like the moving and appearing and ignoring you, it seems to be a much weaker version, if it's even undead, or it could also be an illusion. You feel like if these are undead, you can destroy them.
All right. Well, I feel like I can probably get rid of these guys if worse comes to worse. If they can talk back, I can't destroy them. But if they're just mindless undead, I can get rid of them.
If I may ask, DM, I did do the detect magic earlier. If we're still within that 10 minutes and they're close enough, do I see anything that indicates illusion magic? Or would I have to make a retroactive con save because I took damage?
Well, that's not really the point, because you can just ritual cast it again, so it's like the 10 minutes. But I'd say with detect magic, it is kind of throwing you off, as it's almost like the air itself here has some magical means to it, as it were. And
Gotcha.
I would say for you it's maybe a little bit easier to spot them when they appear, because it's almost like the to you the air, it seems like it has this small like little particles, as it were, of magical energy, and sometimes they kind of like form close together and one of those creatures appears there, and then they spread out again and it disappears again.
Gotcha. As we will explain that, then, like, the magic seems to be in the air, but whatever these are, they're trying to use it to form themselves. I think these are just wayward souls of people who died down here. But the whole air is filled with magic. She's kind of like squinting and looking around, like watching the particles.
That's weird.
Well, Hephe, as you're the one who speaks the language around here and spiritually inclined, might I suggest saying a word or two to them?
I'll give it a shot. I'll speak out in Primordial, just in case it's some kind of spirit-like entity and not an undead ghost, given the extra level of magic in the air. And I'll say, howdy, my friends are telling me you guys are out there. Are you able to hear and understand me?
Make a persuasion check.
Ooh.
23. Okay. For a moment after you say it, kind of like falls dead silent, as you kind of feel ignored, and then suddenly, and almost out of nowhere, one of them appears in front of you and steps like through you and then disappears again, and I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Ooh.
Hooray!
25. As he steps through you for only a couple of seconds, and after it starts like fading like a dream again, you are you feel like you're above again, where those in those mine shafts, and you see like this in the like deeper inside, you can almost reach it. You see this red glowing orb, and as you try to reach it, you kind of grab your hand around it. At the moment you do that, you suddenly feel an enormous sense of relief, and then suddenly you feel something sharp in your back, and as your grab loosens, you return to yourself, and you're standing back next to the water again.
I think that guy might have been stabbed in the back after grabbing a red glowing orb. Did it feel like that red glowing orb was nearby where we were? Like upstairs?
It felt...
Or just that general area is that it was
Yeah,
upstairs?
it's more like that area. It was...
Okay.
From your perspective, it wasn't... You weren't able to tell like where exactly you were.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were... Like in your vision, you were fully focused on that orb.
Gotcha.
And like once it fades, the thing you remember kind of the most is like the enormous relief you felt when you held the orb for a moment.
I think that orb's like really important. Like I just felt so relieved when I was holding it. I don't know if it's like a reward or like some of that. I don't know. That's weird. I'm gonna go up to another ghost and see if I can get, or another thing, and see if I can get the same vision or if it's a different vision.
You can attempt to touch them if you want to.
Yeah, I want to try to touch a different one and see if I get the same thing.
Wisdom saving throw with advantage in this case.
Okay.
Okay, no need to worry.
I always
This
love when
one
I
is-
hear you say that.
This
Wisdom
one
saving
is
throws are mean.
similar, but in a different sense, in that you again find yourself in a similar crevice and you're digging. Feel your hands getting bloody as you're trying to dig. You feel extremely hungry as you only thing on your mind is dig further, dig further, dig further. But as you keep digging and find nothing, though it isn't physically what kills you, as it were, it feels to you like you're dead because you couldn't find anything.
Does it feel like, putting those two together, does it feel like he was looking for that red orb?
It could be. I'll say, since imagining that all of you share information about what you see down here, with the various places that you found those spherical holes as we're in, you figure that they were looking for these red orbs as some form of material that was needed or something like that. Like you figure those red orbs are what the dwarves were mining for here.
Okay, and their goal was to find it, and if they don't find it, then nothing else matters. Okay.
I'll say that you're just to be clear on it. You feel like it isn't like one orb. There are like hundreds and thousands of them.
Okay, so they want to find them all.
Yeah.
And that's why these mine systems so expansive, is because they're trying to find all of them. I think Azzy's right. I think these were people that died in the mines, from what I'm feeling. They were looking for these red orbs, and I think there's a whole lot of them. I think it'd be cool if we could find one of them.
That would hold on. Wouldn't that maybe make them attack us, or like I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying, like, is that a possibility that it could trigger them?
I mean, one of them definitely got dead when it touched one of them. But I mean, we don't necessarily need to touch it. Just figure out what it is, because I don't know what it is. It's a red glowing stone.
Well, how would you even find such a thing?
I don't know. Do I have locate object? I don't have it prepared. Damn it. And 1,000 feet
Decorm,
is not a whole
this
lot.
is your chance. You had it last time.
Does Decorm have locate object?
Jerry?
Cherry.
Yeah.
Do you have locate object?
No.
No. Damn it.
Okay. what you guys do. You're standing by the riverbank.
How much of a river? How much of a shoreline is there?
It goes a bit further until the same space, like where the roof like lowers. At that same space, you find like this. I'd say like it seems similar to the areas above and the crevices where you were crawling, in that it's just barely manageable to get through there. And it's difficult to tell how far that goes, or if it ends, or where that goes. Other than that, you now looking around, you do see that there's multiple like entrances and holes in different parts of the cave.
More splunking to do, one way or another.
I'm just gonna roll for it because that's how I put it in my notes. That is Fluke. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
No.
right.
That's your strong suit, right?
No.
No.
Why would that be my strong suit?
It was a joke.
I think we might want to go upstairs, guys.
I don't disagree with you.
As all of you are standing and thinking about what to do, similarly to okay, win 11 still. Similarly to what happened with Decorm the first time, a spirit just kind of like appears in front of you. It doesn't seem to directly notice you or looking for you. It's just like it happened to appear here, and as it moves through you, you also see a vision of someone, and where the crevices you saw and the one that Hephe had his visions in were all about like standing height for the person who was digging, or from which perspective the view was. But in this vision you're like actively digging down, and as you are digging you feel the ground getting hotter and warmer, and as you dig deeper suddenly there's an opening and you see this large light coming out of it, and suddenly you're gone. And with that, I suggest we end the session here.
Alrighty.
Fantastic!
Isn't it just great? Isn't it the grandest?
Oh, as well, like, because it's an 11, you take 4 points of psychic damage.
You don't dig directly down in Minecraft.
Some people learn that the hard way, you know.
So how the fuck?
End of question.